Talking third person.
In the third person, George Costanza, Randy's doing it. Well, anyway, I've been so lucky, so fortunate, because when I started to do this small bit of co-hosting before the catch driving career come along, I got to work with two guys a lot. Frank Salive, who's going into the Hall of Fame this year, and Glenn Crowder, both very professional guys. Since that point, I've either been interviewed by the Kenny Middletons, the Greg Blanchards, the Chad Rosemas. Like, I've been so lucky for the people that I've got to work with. And the beauty of it is that I pick things up off of you guys, and which adds on to what the people like to with what I'm doing. So it's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy it. And thank you very much for having me here today.
Yeah. And it's great to have you on days like today. It's a long day. There's a lot of talking, a lot of filling required, so you're good at that too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can fill.
And we want to welcome everybody tuning in today. Happy holidays to everybody, first and foremost, and welcome back to the live broadcast. It'll be our final show of the 2022 season, and it's been a little while since we were last with you covering all of that major stakes action throughout the month of October and into November. So a little bit of a break, but great to be back with you live here today and excited to get things going.
You know, it's amazing, too, and I'm thinking to myself, first race, they're all heading to the gate. I'm sure there's some nerves going on, you know, and that, but I'll guarantee you, of all the drivers that are out there right now, there's one guy that's really taking this. I mean, they're all taking it serious, but one guy taking it real serious, and that would be Scotty Young. I mean, he lives for this kind of an environment.
And he'll be on the post-5 starter here, a long shot in the opener, PDQ Hanover. Starting gate rolling. Shannon Sugared Oil, the voice of the raceway, with your call of the first next.
Edition of the Drivers Holiday Challenge in support of Toys for Tots. 7 noses all on gate for a Sunday matinee opener. Now a 16th out. Here they come. They're off, and it is on. See the Delight pointed in the early going along the inside. Style Snapshot has come on through. She's gotten the marching orders early in here. Style Snapshot. Reminders to keep on going, giving the cold horse shoulder in the early going to See the Delight, who's got a duck and tuck here now. On for the 2-hole ride. It's going to be Havoc Connection backed off into third. See the Delight. A midfield fourth for 2-1 shot. JMR Mockmel next in line. To be fifth was PDQ Hanover. Kempenfelt with one beaten in the early going. As Brave as My Mama would have to circle from last. 28-3. Through the opening quarter, through the snow, and it's Style Snapshot released as a 4-5 favorite. Now it's going to be JMR Mockmel mounting a first-up challenge for day. Third and in, Havoc Connection for Brett McDonald, switching outside to be fourth. That is PDQ Hanover. Scott Young, a buried fifth now for See the Delight. Colin Kelly setting it up third over. Kempenfelt, James McDonald, and trailing as Brave as My Mama. Tyler Borthy half clocked up in 60 seconds flat. Style Snapshot still going forward, getting closer now at a second. JMR Mockmel, nothing happening from that 2-hole ride for Havoc Connection, who's dropped back in third. 3 deep on the outside from way back. Kempenfelt, but 8 lengths off the lead. It appears to be coming back down to the front 2 as they reach 3/4 in 1:29.1. Style Snapshot or JMR Mockmel. Who do you like from here? Just over an eighth of a mile left to go. Kempenfelt came on to grab third, and up between pacers there, traveling into fourth. Appears to be PDQ Hanover. These two are gonzo. Style Snapshot. JMR Mockmel went by. JMR Mockmel. Natasha Day opens up the Drivers Holiday Challenge here at 2-1. Style Snapshot second. Kempenfelt third, and from last, As Brave as My Mama. 1:59.2.
Entertaining first race of the afternoon. Travis Henry, who currently leads the driver standings here at Western Fair, trying to add to that total here today with some crucial wins. He's in a real dogfight for the title with Tyler Borth right now, and looked good turning for home, Randy, but Nat Day had other ideas, and Nat following right up where she left off here the last time we saw her in a driver competition, that OLG Women's Drivers Championship, where she swept the entire 6 races.
so far today, the day is turning into a good day for Nat Day. Now it's just a matter of whether she can keep the momentum going. She lucked out here with the 4 to 5 shot, but she drove it perfectly, in my opinion. She dumped Colin Kelly in at the quarter pole, got him out of the way, gave her a clear shot at the leader. She came, pulled him, ducked back into the 2-hole, tried to keep her horses interested and keep Travis in her sights. And when she came back out again, she was ready to play, and that's exactly what she did. She knows this track well too.
Yeah, for sure. She knows, the type of horse that she can make a first over move with, and I think had confidence in JM Armagh. It helped that the horse sitting in the pocket gapped. She was able to get in and then brave it up in the third quarter. That probably was the key to winning, at least. But Style Snapshot, favorite, raced well, just simply beaten by one that was a little bit better today. And then some again, these are the types of results that can come into play later in the day. James McDonald picking up third with Kempenfeld and Tyler Borth getting as brave as my mama from an outside post up for fourth. And again, those are the type of points that can separate them right at the end of the competition.
That's what you have to look for, is to try to get them third, fourth, and fifths with everything that you drive, and then hopefully you'll get a couple of live ones and maybe have a first or a second.
All right, there's a look at the pari-mutuel details from race number 1. JMR Mockmel, 670. Second choice in the wagering, wins over the favorite Style Snapshot. And with a couple of longer priced horses in for third, fourth, the superfecta worth $324.30. One in the books. We'll come back and set up race number 2 in a moment. You're watching live coverage on COSA-TV.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Well, I think this year's in particular is even more important now that we can have like fans on track. It's for the kids, and that's why we changed the post time to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And like it was a great event that Greg Gangle kicked off, and then obviously last year we were able to build upon it. And we raised just over 15,000. So this year, like it's with the on track back into play, like I think it's gonna be something that people are gonna be really excited about. And obviously the fundraising aspect of it is huge, and it's ended up being one of the bigger fundraisers that Toys for Tots does for every year. So we're very proud of that. Oh, they're very supportive. They're willing to come on board, and obviously like they help promote it and things like that. And obviously we take the forefront of the fundraising for it, and then obviously they're the beneficiary of it. And they're always here the night or day of, and they're always receptive to people. And obviously a lot of people donate directly to them because of it. So the relationship's built over the last few years, and it's certainly very strong, and they're very happy to have us on board for it. Yeah, and that's the big thing. Like these guys put everything on the line every night they race, and for them to come out and offer to work for free or partially for free for a day, like it's really important they understand the value of what they bring, and it brings a lot of people out to see what they're able to do on the track. And obviously having someone like James McDonald, Scott Young, all of our guys here, a lot of guys that support our product and are willing to support this event is huge, and they're crucial in that aspect of it. And like I mentioned, like working for free, it's tough for people to do that, and we certainly appreciate them taking their time to do that.
Nice to hear from Tony Elliott, and thanks to him for all the work behind the scenes, getting the event together again this year. We mentioned some of the other young folks like there we go. Get my mic on. Nice to hear from Tony there, and doing great work behind the scenes to get things ready to go this year, as mentioned. And then the younger folks, like we mentioned, Kelly McNiven, Emma Christoforou. How wonderful is that? They're stepping up voluntarily to help out with a cause like this.
Yeah, I mean, it really bodes well for the industry that the young people want to step up and carry this tradition on. You know, I think I heard Tony say that Greg Gangle started this thing. You know, and for you guys just to keep it going, and now it's starting to get a little bit of a presence on its own. Like, people know what this is about.
Right.
They ask about it. They look forward to it. You know, it's starting to take on its own thing. You know, and it's great that you guys can do this every year.
And then Mr. Gangle, I guess he had enough of the winter weather and decided to go to the southern hemisphere. And
he's wrestling Crocs.
Yeah, who knows? He could be tuning in today. If so, I want to wish him and Anna and the kids a happy holiday as well. Speaking of Down Under, the Down Under phenom here locally, Nat Day, kicking things off today, and she's standing by with Mark McKelvey.
All right, thank you very much, guys, in the paddock, and with the driver that has jumped out to the early lead, Natasha Day, getting 15 points with the victory in race 1. JMR Mock Mel works out for you there. You get to just sit back on the leader's back after everybody else gets left distance lengths behind. Heading for home, how confident were you feeling as you popped out and went right on by?
I wouldn't say right on by. She took a little bit to get there. Yeah, she's just a grinder, and I thought I had to pull a little earlier than what I wanted. But yeah, we got the job done eventually. I was a little hesitant whether she'd run straight on past.
Well, you did get on by, I guess. I'll give you a little more credit than you want to take, I guess. But you get out to the early lead. How good does that feel?
Yep, good, because it could be the one and only win I get for the day. So last year I think I finished last. So yeah, I'm trying to improve that position today.
Well, I don't know the stats completely, but I'm pretty sure once you win a race, you're probably not going to finish last. So a really good start. I want to go back to a little bit earlier this year. The guys were talking about that evening here in the Women's Driving Championship when you went 6 for 6. How special was that night?
Yeah, it kind of didn't really sink in until maybe a day or two later. Yeah, it just was business as usual on the night, but yeah, it is something pretty special.
Yeah, you'll certainly remember that one for quite some time. And when you look back on 2022, what do you make of your season?
It's been good. It's been fairly solid. Can always get better, but yeah, I think as long as the drives continue and they're better horses and better stock, and my horses keep going good, it's a good year.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the win in race number 1, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. We need it.
All right, race number 2 is coming up in a little bit. They're going to be exiting the paddock in a couple of moments. Let's go back over to the grandstand.
All right, let's give you a look at the current leaderboard with Nat Day jumping out to that early lead, 15 points for the win. Travis Henry finishing second. There's James McDonald getting some crucial early points as well. Scott Ray, he was scratched, so he gets 5 points automatically. He and Tyler Borth, they'll be tied currently for fourth after one leg. Then Colin, Scott, and Brett also in the field. Plenty of time for them to work their way up in the standings. But how much would that win mean for Nat? She talked about being in the event before. She finished last. We know she can compete with these guys, no problem, in an event like this. But, for her own psyche now to get a win right off the bat, she's got to be feeling pretty good about, now really maybe trying to win this thing today.
I think so, yeah. I think, it puts her off to a really good start, I think the last thing that she'd want to do is go out there with a horse that looked like it had a chance and then get no points or very minimal points. That's the part that's really going to hurt her. She was able to go out there with a horse that showed that he had the ability to race with these horses. She did everything absolutely perfect. She got the win with the horse. I think that it's really going to set her up for the rest of the day. And I also think, though, by James finishing third with that horse, like you said, that's important too. Getting those cheap points with the horses that aren't maybe supposed to win.
So Nat, has carved herself out a pretty nice career here, driving-wise in the province. This is her 7th full season of driving. 322 wins and climbing, and a lot of those have come in the last couple of years. Earnings, a couple of million in earnings for her, and bats at 242. And she just doesn't seem to get that that big stable to give her that big push yet to get her over the hump, and that's what a lot of guys typically need, right, to get to the next level. But despite that, she's really maintained her competitive edge here, and especially when you talk about this track, tracks like Grand River, Clinton, Hanover, those places, she's right in the mix, top 5, top 10 driver there in the last few years.
Well, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you go back to, say, maybe 3 years ago, she was getting just very, very bare minimal drives, and now she's a regular. And I've noticed over the last couple of years that the drives that she's getting are starting to become better and better drives. Like you said, she just needs that one big stable to give her a chance, and everything could happen for her then.
So as we look at the field for race number 2, going through the final preparations in here, we'll see Nat this time with the trailing post and number 8, Family Sports. Even money choice is post 2 starter Laria's Debs Rock. You talked about Scott Young and how pumped he would be today coming in, and finished near the back in that opener, so he'll really want to take advantage here and get himself right back into the mix with a good starting spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really enjoy Scott because he's just so pumped on the business, on being a driver. He's kind of infectious when you're around him. He just kind of got one of those bubbly personalities, and I hope he does well today. He's definitely going to be one of our guys that's going to be around for a while because he's quite young and he's just on the march at Woodbine. Had a couple of big wins last year, the year before. He won the Wellwood. He won a couple of other big stake races. I think his career's heading forward.
And he's got some other exciting things to look forward to.
Yes, he does.
Expecting a new arrival, he and his partner Haley. So we wish them well. I know they're tremendously excited about that. And, you're right. He's got that big personality. So does this other Scott Ray.
Yes.
He's kind of our local version, right?
Yeah.
They're likable guys. They've got big personalities and pretty good drivers on top of it.
Absolutely. But, I mean, it helps our game when a guy can come on the camera, I think, anyway, and be personable and be able to, talk about what just happened in that race and actually be able to let people understand it. And I find that with Scott, both Scotts actually, but they give a really good interview. They go into depth on it, and they just it seems like they always have a smile on their face, and they're always happy to be doing it. And I like that. It's nice. It's refreshing.
Now time to meet the field for our second race tonight. This one's sponsored by Clinton Raceway, and thank you to the folks there. One of the nicest summertime racetracks you'll see anywhere, and home of Legends Day and other major events as well. Colin Kelly driving the one. Let me see. There's the aforementioned Scotty Young there. James McDonald, our reigning O'Brien Award winner. He'll have post 3 starter Stonebridge better. James Koch is the regular pilot on this one, and I don't remember anyone else driving that horse, at least in the last couple of seasons. So getting, and again, this is no disrespect to James, but not driving very often.
That's
and
the
now
key.
Going to James, the O'Brien Award winner. Not shocking to see the horse getting some attention here at 4-1.
No, not at all. And again, I understand what you're saying with the no disrespect to Jim Koch. It's just that when you're used to driving 10 horses every night, and you're used to driving maybe 10 horses in a matter of 2 months, it's different. It's like playing hockey. If you're sitting on the bench and you're only playing 3 minutes, you're not really getting the same experience and the same fitness as that guy that's out there playing 20 minutes.
And the horse could respond in a positive way, but they may not.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, right? The regular driver, whoever that may be, just gets along with the horse. But there's potential upside. Let's put it that way. And the public, giving the horse probably a little more tote support than you would normally see. in a class like this.
And as a handicapper, these are the little tricks that you're looking
Right.
for, something to give you an advantage. And if you're a big James fan, which I am, and you've watched James compete all year and just do crazy things on the racetrack, pick horses up that don't really show anything, then this should fit right into James's plan.
And
Might rain on Scotty Young's parade.
there you go. Getting a look there at Scott Ray. He'll be on the post 5 starter. Miramichi David, he's a long shot in the field, 22-1. And, put your driving hat back on for a moment, Randy, when you came into a day like today and having to sit out right off the bat in that first race, it's got to be a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, for sure. You want to drive every race that you're in, But I like the way that when a horse is scratched, at least they get a few points given to them. And I hate to see them get a goose egg just because the horse happened to get scratched. It could be weather related, anything. I mean, But I think that Scotty, he's going to come into this like pumped again. I can't say enough about the two Scots. Like, they're just infectious being around them. They love driving horses. Absolutely love it. You'd swear to God it was the first year the two of them ever drove a horse. They're just so excited about it. And this is going to play out well for him. And now he can get those nerves out of the way because now he's going to go out and get dirty.
And Scott's had a pretty nice season this year, 125 wins overall. He's a top competitor at this venue, obviously. In the summertime, you'll see him a lot driving at Hiawatha Horse Park in Sarnia, where he's typically in the top 3 or 4 drivers there. Runner-up this year at the Dresden meet behind Garrett Rooney. Garrett not in the competition today, but we should mention he was the leading driver at both Dresden and Sarnia this year, and by a wide margin. And another guy that we see a lot here. So there's a lot of depth in this local driver colony when you've got guys like Colin Kelly and Brett McDonald and guys that aren't here in the competition today like Jason Ryan, Jay Harris day to day. So they're all that next wave, right, that are
Right.
looking to probably stick at some point on the WEG circuit,
Right.
but they're just a step away right now.
Pretty well, yeah. But I mean, they got age to work with them,
Right.
And some guys, you take it, for instance, a guy that I kind of grew up driving with on the B tracks when I was doing Flamborough was a guy named Scotty Coulter. At any time, in my opinion, Scotty Coulter had the talent to make the leap to Woodbine. That's my own opinion. I mean, maybe some people don't say it that way. I say that he always had the talent, but he wanted to stay with the lifestyle that he had. And another guy, too, who was wicked talent, and he could have easily made the jump, was Paul McKenzie. But he likes the B circuit, and when down the road we've seen that. We've seen great drivers that just would rather drive on the B or circuits. A guy like Donnie McElroy, a guy like Ray McLean, senior and junior. The B tracks have thrown out phenomenal drivers. This is where John Campbell cut his teeth.
Right.
The talent is there. It's just a matter: do you want to make that jump to the next level, or are you quite content with what you got here?
And a guy that seemed destined for that same type of path, same career, was Trevor Henry.
Right.
And it was much later,
Yes.
than you would traditionally see, where he finally did make that move to the Woodbine circuit. A lot of people thought at the time, or wondered if it would work out for him, and obviously it certainly has.
Very much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a talented group, and a lot of it assembled right here this afternoon. A lot of parity in the field. Again, it just goes to show you, right? You've got James McDonald coming in. He's the reigning O'Brien Award winner, Canada's top reinsman the last couple of years. But it's not automatic that he would win on a day like this. He'll have to bring his best. He'll have to have a bit of racing luck and all the things that go with it. Another good look at the weather conditions today. It's just sort of a typical winter day in Ontario, and
Yes.
Pretty nice night. We talked about footing today. Maybe just a quick thought, Randy, on what that'll be like and what type of shoeing they would need today to be most effective.
Well, I think the ones that have the most cork on is probably going to work. But like we were talking earlier too, and I mean, because of the winters in Ontario aren't the same as, say, like when the 70s and 80s. A lot of trainers have got away from cork. They'll risk, that they'll have to race a horse like today without any cork on, and that's not going to work out well. But you're not always going to get these snow-filled tracks and need that cork, so they'll play that game.
All right, good betting board here. It's race number 2 of our 9-race competition. Back upstairs to Sugar Doyle.
Sir, by the good folks up and around Clinton Raceway, top of the stretch. Pacers, pick up speed. Here they come. They're off. Stonebridge better to follow the gate on out of there, though Larry is Deb's Rock is going to protect that inside lane, and Young is going to bring him on through to cut it out. It's going to be Larry is Deb's Rock, pocketing up now in second. Larry is Deb's Rock, and away nicely in third. Miramichi David, snug lines there for Scott Ray. Fourth and in for Corona on the Beach, who's minding the manners here in the early going. Then it's Cajun Lightning. Third to last was Let Me See. That comes ahead of Family Sports, the earliest trailer being Nassau Hanover. 29-4, soft opening quarter mile speed for the pace setter. Larry is Deb's Rock got absolutely pounded at post time. 1-5 choice on the boogie here. The lead is 2 full lengths to Stonebridge better in second. Underway and coming on now to be third. This is going to be Corona on the Beach with the first up challenge, and it's a lap to go for the heavy favorite Larry is Deb's Rock. Now matching strides. Corona on the Beach, Stonebridge better traveling third, a toe up in fourth for Cajun Lightning, and getting shuffled here in fifth. Miramichi David third out and into the flow. On the go Nassau Hanover, back markers Let Me See. Family Sports down the backside they travel second and final time after that half. 101-2. Larry is Deb's Rock on the inside. Giving him all he can handle here is Corona on the Beach, the 3-year-old son of Royal Majesty, trying to go on by. 130-3. There were 29-1 through the third. Larry is Deb's Rock is still selling it, though still trying to buy it. Corona on the Beach traveling in third. Stonebridge better. Room now from fourth for Miramichi David. Into the stretch they travel. Larry is Deb's Rock. He's wanted every call. He's gotten every call. Can he get the job done? Still coming. Corona on the Beach just won't quit. Down to the line. Very close. Larry is Deb's Rock. Appeared to hold on against a very stubborn Corona on the Beach. He got close for third between Stonebridge better and Miramichi David. 2:01. Great final half battle between the front two. Larry is Deb's Rock or Corona on the Beach.
Very similar to what we saw in race number 1. Ends up being a 2-horse breakaway and a very entertaining stretch drive. Comes right down to the finish, and it looks like Larry is Deb's Rock did hold on, although pushed to the limit by number 4 Corona on the Beach for the McClure clan of Clinton. Kind of fitting. Clinton Raceway, sponsor of race number 2, and that one comes up with a huge effort. Made it very interesting. Falls just a head short, but nonetheless, some valuable points for driver Tyler Borth. James McDonald, another third-place finish with Stonebridge better. And Scott Ray, there's another guy, getting some maybe unexpected points here with the real long shot. Miramichi David looked like there was a time in the race he might get up for third, but he'll be happy with the fourth in there, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of going to my age here, Greg, but do you realize there the Corona on the Beach there? I won with the sire of them, and I won with the sire of the dam.
Wow.
That's something there, eh? I'm starting to show
Couple
my
of good
age
ones
here.
too.
Yeah,
Royal
for sure.
Majesty, Art Major.
Yeah, win with both of them.
And both great in their own way. I guess you would say Art Major, the more accomplished in the big wins he had, but Royal Majesty,
It's
when
he
you look
turned
back,
4.
quite a career for him too.
Right, and especially when he turned 4. I mean, Bill had that juggernaut that year as a 3-year-old. There was Art Major, Red River Hanover, Mach 3, $1 Million Cam. I mean, it was a juggernaut of a year, and Royal Majesty was just one of them. And then when they turned to the 4, a lot of those horses went to stud, Art Major including that. And Royal Majesty came back, and I mean, his 4-year-old year was cracking.
He's another one of those stallions. He wasn't commercially attractive to get top mares, but boy, he throws a lot of nice racehorses.
He does. He does.
Racehorses.
He's been a good stud. Maybe not a great stud. Maybe not a stud that you're going to remember down the road, but he's been a good stud for the horses that he got.
All right, there's a smiling Haley,
family.
Mama to be, and Papa to be, and two great people, right?
Yes.
Haley and Scott, and
and what a great family.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Okay,
the
just a
entire young
great
family.
Their whole family has been dedicated to harness racing. Scott, Heather, Bob, Gail, like they're all so involved in harness racing. It's just so nice to see Scott getting to where he wants to be.
And the newest addition to the family to come, and no doubt they'll likely make their imprint on the harness racing
I'm hoping
industry.
they name him Randy
As well. Yeah, there you go. We're putting an early word in, so yeah, for anybody watching, there you go. Larry is Deb's Rock, a popular $2.60 winner, and some low returns, but a lot of people cashing, so that's always a nice thing at this time of year. Time for another break. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Enjoy the thrill of the race anywhere, anytime with HPIBet.com. Join for free and use your smartphone, tablet, or PC to watch and wager when you can't be at the track. Stream live racing from over 450 tracks. Bet with ease from anywhere. It's safe and secure. Get rewards, race alerts, tips, and more. For a limited time, get $100 when you become a member. Plus, 1 month free live race streaming, and your first bet is on us. Go to HPIBet.com to join for free today. Enjoy the thrill of the race anywhere, anytime with HPIBet.com. Join for free and use your smartphone, tablet, or PC to watch and wager when you can't be at the track. Stream live racing from over 450 tracks. Bet with ease from anywhere. It's safe and secure. Get rewards, race alerts, tips, and more. For a limited time, get $100 when you become a member. Plus, 1 month free live race streaming, and your first bet is on us. Go to HPIBet.com to join for free today.
My most memorable moment driving was, I think in 2018 at my birthday, I had a gold sire stake win. It was probably one of my favorite horses, Sorcerer's Sealster. And it was a race replay that I watched the odd time still, and I still get quite a kick out of it. So. Well, my biggest influence so far has been my dad. Obviously, me and him talk about all the races that I'm in, and about the horses, and just trying to get better. And he's always been a good coach for me. Be it in baseball, he was always our coach. So I've just left him as my coach in horse racing. Some of my favorite memories of Western Fair was just, I can remember coming here Saturday afternoons and watching the races, watching my dad race. And they had an arcade here, and there was a bunch of kids. We used to come, and every week we'd play, and just the fun of coming every week. And it was kind of my big night, big day of the week. So it's, I'm glad it's still a part of my life these days. Well, I always kind of like the Grinch, but I know one Christmas movie I've watched thousands of times, Home Alone. So I'm going to go with Macaulay Culkin, I think, there. No Christmas music for me, Greg. I think you kind of know my taste in music. I like a little bit more of an up than that. So, the main Christmas music I'll listen to is when I'm walking through the mall. Yeah, my Christmas shopping usually kind of starts December 23rd. I go to the mall late, and the funny thing is there's a bunch of people you used to go to school with and everything because they're on the same shopping as me. So I'll go there and I'll get to see a bunch of people that I used to see, and I'll get her all done in one night. It's kind of been my style, so I'm sticking with it. Yeah, like this event to me is special because, in this sport, you never know how long your career or whatever lasts, and any chance you get to do something like this, I try to really take it in and enjoy it, and also like the fact that it's helping kids and something like it's so easy as just getting toys. It's something that can bring a smile to someone's face that quick. It's something that I really look forward to, and I'm really, really happy to be asked to have done it. And it's a big thing for me.
Scotty Ray, nice result in race number 2, and as we said earlier, he's a bit of a character for sure. We do share one thing in common: getting out and doing our shopping there on the 23rd or the 24th.
What an awesome interview that was, hey? Like it really was. That was one of the better driver interviews that I've ever seen. He's really good on camera.
He's been driving 11 seasons now, and he's got the 1,000 win plateau milestone in his sights, and he'll be hitting that likely in the next season or so. $5 million plus in earnings, and he's been a high percentage driver here on the circuit for the last number of years. Well, the other Scott Young, victorious in race number 2. We're going to head back out to our paddock location next. He's joined by Mark McKelvey.
Thank you very much, Greg. Yes, Scott Young with me gets the job done in race number 2. I want to talk a little bit about your experience in these challenges in just a second, but let's reflect on what we just saw. Boy, did you ever have to work for it.
Yeah, he was like my best shot of the day, I thought. And man, Tyler Borth, I can see why he does so well. He's a tough guy to put away.
Yeah, it just kept on coming at you, but you do hold on to get the victory. That's got to feel pretty good, because you were telling me last year you finished right ahead of Natasha Day, who told us a little bit ago that she finished last. Yeah. So, hey, we're turning the tables this year.
Yeah, no, I didn't even win one last year, so I got a win under the belt, and I beat Nat because I was scratched in the last. So at least I'm having a better start this year anyway.
I know you're always prepared, but now I wonder sometimes in these drivers' challenges, can you prepare too much? Is it one of those things you just got to go out with the feel and just see how it goes?
Yeah, it's just try and read the book, and I don't know the horses as well as I used to, but the big thing is like the guys might not drive them the same as they would like on a normal night, because they're trying to go get all they can tonight, right? So it's you just kind of play it when the wings fold and see what happens.
And then obviously it's going to be a fun day and giving back to charity, and I know for yourself you love any of those opportunities that you can help out.
Yeah, great cause, you know what I mean? If anytime I can do anything to support and be here, it's a great time.
All right, well, best of luck. You got to win now. There's still a long ways to go, but you're on the board with a big 15 points from race number 2. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, let's throw it back into the grandstand.
So, yeah, a lot of smiles. Nat Day, Scott Young. How interesting, right? Both of them, the last time they competed in the event, didn't have the greatest of days. Both of them with an early win. So it's really going to change the dynamic of the event this year. And probably people had expectations coming in. Do you think they've been flipped on their head at all, or what have you seen so far that's maybe surprised you?
No, not really. I think that both of them drove their horses accordingly. They gave them both shots. They both had good opportunities to win races. It's nice because, like it said, last year, Nat finished last, Scotty finished second last. This is a different year. They go out and now they're at the top of up close to the top of the standings. And I think that what that does is it relaxes them, and now they're able to go out and just drive. You don't want to go to one of these competitions and get the goose egg, and you don't want to be on the bottom of the pile at the end of it,
For sure. And with the win, Scott leapfrogs Nat Day and is now number 1 in the standings, just a couple of points ahead of Nat, 18-16. Tyler Borth gets himself up into the top 3. James hovering at the top of the pack there. And you've got Travis Scott Ray. So he had the scratch in the early leg, picks up 4th money there. So he's in that bottom 3, but not far off. Still very early, and so much can change race to race in a competition like this. Now, the betting public here thinks Travis Henry has another big chance. Post 2 starter Stonebridge Zeus in here for Brian Lawrence. 3-time winner in 19 this year. When I see the low price, based on the recent form, that doesn't jump out at you. I guess it has to be the class relief angle.
I think so, and plus too, you can really kind of maybe look at his breeding as too. I think he was bred to be a little bit better than what he's showing. This might be one of those horses that's going to take a little bit of seasoning. He's only 3 years old. He's going into his 4-year-old year. Could be a horse that is going to down the road is going to be one of those top horses because he is well bred. He's a resolve out of a Donato mare. He sold at Lexington for $20,000. He's had a good go, $60,000 made. I think he fits in here fantastic, and that's where I'm going.
There's Scott Ray, another long shot here from post 1 Dusty Lane Thunder, but what you do get is a steady trotter. You get a good post position and a horse that knows the track. So maybe an opportunity to get away forwardly placed and pick up another decent result. Brett McDonald, he'll be aboard the long shot Waikiki Hanover, the veteran. Long time between victories for this guy. He's got some back class, though, winner of $250,000. And there's Nat Day with Prey and Hustle, your post 4 starter. And again, a bit of a snow-covered track, as you can see, that light snow that it's going to just mix in with the track. There's not really much you can do about it, so it could be just a touch slippery. And again, you've got to be prepared for winter racing at this time of year. You never quite know what Mother Nature's going to give you. Speaking of that, Randy, we were talking about, the good old days, and we've been around a long time, and those matinee cards in the winter time, those Boxing Day programs. So it brings me to a question. Did you have a favorite winter horse? Like there were certain horses that time of year is where they really seem to shine. Is there one or two that stick out for you from years past?
Well, I mean, like taking them out, like not bringing the horses that I was training and driving for my dad, taking them out of the equation. A couple of the ones that I remember anyway one was a horse called Hang the Odds. And when he got to be about maybe 10, 11 years old, I ended up claiming and owning him for a couple of weeks. And he was a horse, always appealed to me were the horses that were able to sit last and be able to beat somebody. And there was another horse called Shady Hill Pride who could come vicious last quarters. Dougie Brown would swing him out 5-6 wide at Greenwood, and he'd just launch around that last turn and just win the Open. And that kind of stuff that sticks with you for the rest of your life.
All right, we're going to head back over to our paddock location. Mark McKelvey standing by with a special guest.
Certainly am, Greg. I'm joined by Kelly McNiven, one of the leaders of this year's Holiday Drivers Charity Challenge and the fundraiser that goes with it, Toys for Tots. And Kelly, you were involved last year, so your second year involved. I have to guess that after the way things went last year, it was a no-brainer to come back this year?
Yeah, everybody was so happy with how it turned out last year, so was I, and thank you to the horse community again for stepping up and helping again this year. So it just seemed fitting to come back again and help out this year and support this awesome cause.
Well, how has it gone this year compared to last year?
It's been really good. Again, the horse community really steps up when you need them to, so that is great. And we've got a lot of toys, and the Toys for Tots charity was really happy.
Now, you were asking me before, what was I going to ask you? You wanted to be prepared. I'm going to throw one last curveball at you, but you've mentioned about the community in the harness racing industry. Just feels that everybody steps up when they see an opportunity.
Yeah, I grew up in this business, obviously, so I've always been around seeing all these great people step up and help out when it's needed. So to be a part of it and really see firsthand everybody come together, it's just really great.
Now, here today, we've got a couple of draws. First of all, we're going to do our first draw in just a second. We'll do another one a little later on, but what are our draws for today?
We have a $100 Wilson's Tack gift card, which we're going to draw right now, and it's donated by Scott and Kim McNiven, my parents. And then later on, we have a $100 keg gift card donated by Twinbrook Farms.
All right, fantastic. All right, let's do that first draw. You've got the ballots right here in the festive bag. I won't look in, and we'll see who our winner. Oh, we only need one. Blair Keeling is our winner. All right, congratulations. I'm sure you guys will be getting in touch. I'll let you hold on to that. And Kelly, we'll check in with you a little later on. But once again, a fantastic job this year.
Thank you again.
All right, let's go back over to Greg and Randy ahead of race number 3.
Wonderful job by Kelly McNiven. And you talked about it, Randy. Just took it upon herself last year, and again, Emma Christopher down around the Mohawk way, picking up where some others left off. I remember the first year we did it, Shannon Henry just jumped up and decided to coordinate things down on that end and brought a massive trailer full of toys here. So yeah, it's the spirit of the racing community, and with folks like that picking up the torch, so to speak, and doing things like that, it, as you said earlier, really bodes well for the future of the sport.
Absolutely, and we've seen this time and time, years, decades of this kind of stuff going on. I can remember being young in the late 70s, and my father was the honorary chairman of the multiple sclerosis, so he was going to a lot of tracks and driving for MS, and that did it for 2 or 3 years. And I allude to what Kelly just said. She said, I grew up in this business. My parents, are giving a gift card from Wilson's. Well, when you grow up in that setting around those kinds of parents, then it usually trickles down to you. And I think that's what we're seeing here. Just well-raised girl, comes from a fantastic family that have always given to the sport, and she's a chip off the block.
Yeah, an amazing business when you think about it, as competitive as you can get on a day-to-day basis. Make no mistake. But then, boy, when something happens where people have to pull together, very few industries that pull together like the racing community.
And never have to be asked.
Right.
They just want to volunteer. They hear about it. Okay, I'm in. It's great.
Job well done again, and a big thank you to them. And I know Toys for Tots really appreciates that, and they have enjoyed the partnership that was formed 3 years ago. We're now in year number 3, and we're coming up to race number 3 in today's edition of the Holiday Drivers Challenge. Here's Sugar with the race call.
Ray, Stonebridge Zeus, Travis Henry, Y, Kiki Hanover, Brett McDonald, Pray and Hustle, Natasha Day, As You Car, Colin Kelly, Eyes of Justice, Scott Young, All Out Henry, James McDonald, Back Tearing It, Chili and Toast, Tyler Borth, and we're throwing it a happy 14th birthday to Josh McGill. He's tuned in and taking in today's racing action. Third race starts right now. They're off, and Eyes of Justice being pulled into the front by Young. A good beginning for Y, Kiki Hanover, and speed from the car on the outside from All Out Henry, but Eyes of Justice and Young's going to put another one on the frontier. Looking to drop into second is All Out Henry. Getting situated into the third spot is Dusty Lane Thunder. That comes ahead of Y, Kiki Hanover, Chili and Toast. Stonebridge Zeus finds himself into 6th. Your back markers are Pray and Hustle and As You Car, Eyes of Justice, and the answer has got him by the opening panel in 29 seconds flat, continuing to stalk along with the tow-long journey in second is All Out Henry. Traveling from third is Dusty Lane Thunder and Scott Ray. Position in fourth for Y, Kiki Hanover. In a mid-pack fifth is Chili and Toast. No movement yet as Eyes of Justice continues to go unchallenged to this point. Right there in second, All Out Henry, and a peek to the outside for Dusty Lane Thunder. Fourth to the pylon position, Y, Kiki Hanover. Angle to the outside, and fifth is Chili and Toast. Following on the move, Stonebridge Zeus halfway home in a minute flat, 31 seconds in that second quarter. And Eyes of Justice looking very comfortable on this front end mission. All over the Young helmet in second is All Out Henry. First up on the outside, Dusty Lane Thunder not advancing yet. Locked and blocked in fourth is Y, Kiki Hanover, and winding up from the backfield. Here comes Chili and Toast for Borth. Also getting motivated off the back end, Stonebridge Zeus. Pray and Hustle and As You Car trails, and Eyes of Justice trying to stretch that lead out to 2 lengths. 1:31 to the 3/4, 31 in the third panel, and it's still Eyes of Justice beginning to get away from them, but Eyes of Justice has company. Company's name is Stonebridge Zeus and Travis Henry trying to match strides as they come for home. Eyes of Justice has gotten every single call. One last push on the outside, Stonebridge Zeus, but he's running out of track and running out of time. One last push as they come to the wire. Eyes of Justice holds off. Stonebridge Zeus up for third was All Out Henry. Eyes of Justice 2 minutes and 3, and Young's in for another winner's circle presentation.
That was Nathan Bain on the microphone for race number 3. Our apologies. We didn't realize they played a little musical chairs up in the booth. And Nathan, our backup announcer here now, and race caller at Leamington Raceway as well, in for the call of race number 3, where Scott Young comes right back. And Randy, you said as they were coming to the wire, the answer has the answer again. And it looks like that win went right to his hands, so to speak, here today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's stoked. I said it at the opening of the show. Of all the drivers going to that gate in the first race, they're all happy to be here. They're all competitive people. They wouldn't be doing this, But this kid there, he is going to be stoked. This would really, really mean a lot to him. And he's such... At one time, he drove a lot of horses down here at Western Fair, and he kind of more or less got started racing on the bees and that, he's just I'm probably just beaming right now, and it's just fantastic to see.
And through 3 races today, now Travis Henry's had a couple of favorites who both raced well, just got beat by a better horse today. Mm-hmm. But the fact that those second place finishes where they were expected wins.
Yeah.
As we look toward the end of the competition, or as we get deeper into it, again, that can be important in the results.
Well, you even said there too, James. Again, James ekes out another little, on the little score of points, and I mean, if he happens to hit a couple of races where he does have the favorite, he's going to be tough to hold off because he's getting points with horses that maybe he shouldn't have. And
Nat Day, another good result to keep yourself right into the mix. But that's a big win for Scott at 12-1. Not necessarily expected, at least on the tote board. So that's a real bonus win for him, and early on is going to get him a bit of a cushion atop the standings here after 3 legs. So we're a third of the way through, and there's a nice Winter Circle entourage here today as well. There's our parade marshal looking good too, all decked out.
Seasoned up.
Christmas garb. That's exactly what we like to see. And it really is, right? It's kind of the perfect winter backdrop for a day like today. We couldn't have ordered it up any better.
This time of the year, you really want to look in the infield and see a little bit of snow. You don't want to see grass.
And Stuart McQueen out there as well. And, with the big beard, I was thinking, I couldn't help but think it, you dye that white and you could have a good Santa Claus right there.
You might have a couple of customers.
Yeah, exactly. Eyes of Justice, and what a nice Christmas gift for those who backed this horse today. $26.50 on the nose, $63 exacta combination, and a nice superfecta return as well, with the favorite finishing second, $806.25. So our first sort of big upset of the day here. What's in store next? We'll find out in a moment.
With more than 150 years of tradition behind it, Century Spring Farms has built a reputation for raising and breeding champions. Like two-time O'Brien Award winner and Horse of the Year, Century Pharaoh. Little Brown Jug champion, Limelight Beach. And current OSS stars, Century Invader and Century Inspector. Their sprawling 200-acre farm in the heart of southwestern Ontario is the ideal location for raising healthy and happy youngsters. Be sure to check out their yearling lineup at this fall's London Classic Yearling Sale. Century Spring Farms, producing champions in Ontario and beyond.
We're back at the Raceway in London, Ontario for coverage of the Drivers' Holiday Challenge here today in support of Toys for Tots. Thank you again to all of our race sponsors. Third race today was sponsored by COSA, the Central Ontario Standardbred Association. Grand River Raceway will be sponsoring the upcoming fourth. A good start, 2 wins already in 3 races for Scott Young, who's in season number 12 as a driver. He's got 1,200 wins and climbing, 12 million in purse winnings. So you're going to see that jump up a little bit more, Randy, than the wins in this last year or so, because he's really sort of committed to trying to, I think, to break in on the WAG circuit. So he's not getting a full lineup there all the time like he would be if he was committed and focused to driving in a track like here.
100%, but he's going the right way. That's what I like about it, and he's willing to stick it out. That's the biggest thing, is when you decide to make that leap from the driving on the bees to there, or in Scotty's case where he just, he was basically doing both, but he decided that he was going to concentrate more on Woodbine. You better realize that when it starts out, you might only be driving 2, 3, 4 horses a night, because that's what it started out with me too, and that's what it started with him. But now he's getting more and more, and each year it seems like the quality of animals that he gets is getting a little bit better too.
All right, we're going to head back out to the paddock location. Travis Henry standing by with Mark.
Thank you very much, Greg. Yes, joined by Travis Henry. Just got a second there in race number 3. And Travis, we were just talking before we came on camera, got away pretty far back, but you made something happen there. A big move going up the backside. A pretty good effort to get second, considering how it started off.
Yeah, he's honest. He just put in a few steps leaving. I didn't want to push him off stride, and then Tyler pushed for position, so I kind of had to duck at that point. The flow wasn't great, but we made the best of what we could. Yeah.
Certainly did, and in a driver's challenge, that's going to get you some crucial points. How excited were you for today's action? You've had a real good 2022, but I know you'd like some bragging rights knocking off some of your buddies here.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good cause, and I think we all enjoy doing it and having a little bit of fun. So.
Talk about your season. Like I said, it's been another really good year. Racked up the victories. How pleased are you?
I'm pleased. It's been awesome. And I never thought I'd ever be here, so it's great.
Well, we'll wish you the best luck the rest of the way and give you a great congratulations on a great 2022 and best of luck in 2023.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, let's go back to the grandstand with Greg and Randy.
Thank you, Mark and Travis, and he'll be on board a fair somewhere, the post 4 starter here, so he's got a bit of a long shot, and he'll be looking for some crucial points as he sits second behind Scott Young, who's built up a bit of a lead early on. James McDonald continues just to kind of stay in that top 3, top 4, tied with Nat and Tyler Borth in the mix as well. And that's, again, the 8 drivers, Scott Ray, Colin Kelly, Brett McDonald, rounding out this field of 8 here this afternoon. So good start for Scott here, as we mentioned. And here in race number 4, we want to take a look at how the post position might affect things. Now, James, we talked about it, the fact that he's probably getting the results that were expected on paper from the horses as they compared to their competition in those first 3 races. Now's where you could see him start to make a move. He's got the favorite right now for post 1.
This is the thing. This is the dangerous part. Like I said earlier there, he's lurking. He's lurking in the weeds, waiting for that first opportunity. And if he gets a couple of back-to-back horses that can win him some races, he's really going to be tough to haul down because he's gathered up so many points with horses, like you said, that maybe just weren't expected to get that many points. And he looks good in here. Sir Luck now, like you said, with the rail coming in from Rito Carlton, but racing really well. The thing that I like the best about him, though, is that Brett Lester's been having a fantastic year this year, trained by Brett Lester, and picks up one of, if not the best driver in Canada right now.
And that the guys that right now are near the bottom of the standings today, Scott, Brett, Colin, they're going to be hungry now. They're really going to want to get a win or get some points, get themselves back into the mix here. 9 races today, still plenty of time, and a lot will change here over the next few races. There's a look at the field here. We'll take another moment to welcome in all of our viewers who are watching today. As always, leave us a comment, and we like hearing where everybody is tuning in from. I know Alan Middleton, we heard from him tuning in today from England, and a lot of our viewers from all over North America as well. Season's greetings to all of you. If you've got a question or a comment for Randy specifically today, let us know, and we've got lots of time to try and answer that for you. Everybody who does comment today, we're going to have a giveaway. Now, Randy's going to try and pull a few strings for us. Tell us about the cool gift you got last night, and you're saying you might be able to get a couple of these for some of our viewers today.
Well, I don't know who came up with the idea, but they came up with they made drivers' silks into Christmas ornaments. They're beautiful, and I think the Bobby McClure, James McDonald, Louis Waugh, and Dougie McNair, those were the ones. And I mean, they are absolutely gorgeous, and it's so cool when I've never seen anything like that before. So when they brought them over there, I ended up bringing them down here with us, and hopefully she told them that there was the lady said last night that there was a lot of extra ones, so hopefully we can get our hands on them, and somehow I'll try to get them here to Greg. But they would be phenomenal Christmas ornaments for your tree.
Okay, so you better leave us a comment today for your chance. We'll draw a couple of names after the show today, and we'll announce them on our social feeds, and the winners will hopefully receive those Christmas ornaments. Randy's going to try and line that up for us. If not, we'll come up with a nice prize for you here, compliments of COSA-TV. So again, a big welcome to everybody today tuning in, and best of the holidays to you. Not much time to get that the Christmas shopping done. Now, we heard from Scotty Ray.
Scotty Ray's got lots of time.
Like myself, yeah, lots of time, no panic. What about yourself? Are you one of the guys that likes to get out early, or do you leave it late?
No, actually, I leave it with Angela. I show up, I eat turkey, I'm there when the presents are wrapped.
You're there for moral support.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect.
But she seems to have a better grasp on what people want than me. So I'm not really much of a Christmas shopper. I remember being a little boy one time and buying my father aftershave, and we were driving to my grandparents, and I kept aggravating that he'd never guess what it was, and he kept getting it out more and more out of me, and finally I said, Dad, it sounds like water, but it's not. And he kind of had it figured out at that point.
That's great, eh? And when you think back of your childhood, was there a particular gift or a particular Christmas that stands out, where something really cool happened that you remembered?
Something like we were a very busy family that way. Dad was always racing, and we always had around 15 horses at the farm. So my mother was always really busy. Me and Junior were in school. We were always, but Christmas was special for us. We'd all just the family. We'd get together and they were all great. I can't say that there was one better than the other, and I can honestly say I never had a bad Christmas.
Well, that is the spirit, right?
And that's why we're here tonight, just to make good Christmases for a lot of other people.
Absolutely. Toys for Tots is the charity that these guys are driving for here today. Wonderful organization, doing great work, and glad that we can support them here in the harness racing industry. And I know the local committee of Toys for Tots extremely appreciative of the efforts and this partnership, and it's a valuable one, and it's raised a lot of money for them. That really goes a long way to help them this time of year.
And awareness.
Absolutely.
It's the whole thing is just a fantastic idea, and it makes a person feel good that they can be involved in something like this, because the end result is going to be a smiling face Christmas morning, and nothing's any better than seeing a child with a big smile on his face come Christmas morning.
And speaking of Christmas, Randy, it looks like you've made Dolly Powell's Christmas. She said she loves Randy's hair. It looks wonderful. Well, thank you, Dolly.
I'm giving Dolly all the Christmas ornaments after that one. Thank you very much.
Oh, so that's how it works. We just need to compliment Randy, and then that's how you win.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Folks like Barb Longafee tuning in from New Waterford today. And she says Randy was her favorite driver.
Oh, goodness.
And loved when you won the NA Cup with Thinking Out Loud. You love that, too.
Didn't bother me any. I think I have a relation watching from Florida today too. I think there's a legend down in Florida watching us today, Mr. Ron Waples.
I heard that. And times are tough for Ron. He's down there.
He's sure.
Probably sitting around the fire, enjoying a cocktail and some barbecue today. And
there might be a cocktail.
We've got Jason Turnbull with a question for you. Randy, how would you compare the two superstar horses? This is a good one. Bulldog Hanover and Some Beach Somewhere. How would you compare those two?
That is
Put it this way,
one.
if you had to pick one, you had them both in a $1 million race and you had to pick one. Let's put you right on the spot here.
Wow. Something, that is one of those really double-edged swords. I just don't know if I could pick it. Now, if you want me to go into depth, I mean, Bulldog Hanover and the Beach, to me, were basically the same horses. They were just so far ahead of their age group and did so much for horse racing. But I've always been a believer that a horse has to carry that momentum from the racetrack into the breeding shed. If Bulldog Hanover is able to do that, the comparisons are very, very close. But if he's not able to produce those horses that Some Beach Somewhere produced, then I say that Some Beach Somewhere wins the race. I mean, it's as simple as that. I think that a great horse has to be able to push that into what they put out there in generations, whether it's a mare or a stud. So right now, I would say it's a tie. If Bulldog, a slight edge to some beach somewhere. If Bulldog Hanover does what I think he's going to do in the breeding shed, I say it's a tie.
And he's going to get a great chance. Had a chance to see him about a week ago at Sealster Farms. He's getting settled in there and acclimated to his new home. I know the folks there, Ann Stratman and the crew there, are so excited to have him there. And it was funny. Ann that day said she was busy going through applications for people that want to breed to him. And she said it was new territory. She said, she's never had to deal with such an outstanding group of mares and try and go through that and do all the research that goes into the taking those applications. So
that's amazing.
What a great problem to have. It's just so exciting, right, for Ontario.
Yeah,
breeding.
And what you were just saying, too, as a matter of fact, about 2-3 days ago, I was at the shavings pile with Bulldog Hanover's former groom, Johnny Malaya, and I said to him, is the big horse missing you since he doesn't see anymore? And he goes, I don't even think he registers that I'm not there. I'm like, really? You've had him for like 2-3 years? Like, you guys were so close. He said, them girls down there spoil him so much. He says, I don't even think I'm in his memory anymore. So our Bulldog Hanover right now has got the home of all homes.
And, so he's going to get every chance to show what he can do in the breeding shed, and it's so exciting. And even aside from the Bulldog, it's exciting seeing some of the new stallions that are coming into the province.
Yeah.
You look at Terra Hill Stud, for example, and some of the new faces that we're going to see there on both the trotting and the pacing side. When you think Cattle Wash, Green Manalishi, for example. It could be exciting times ahead for Ontario breeding.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, I work in the mornings for Dave Maneri. So far this year, I've sat behind horses that I've never sat behind sire-wise. I've sat behind Courtly Choices, absolutely love them. I've sat behind a Lazarus, never sat behind one before, love it. I mean, there's a lot of great sires that are coming this way. And, even the Captain Treacherous, one of the first times that I've sat behind a Captain Treacherous. Fantastic. Harness racing is got a huge future.
A nice drone shot high atop the raceway here in London, Ontario. As you can see, a blanket of snow covers the infield and partially covering the track here this afternoon. It's a winter wonderland here in London. The gate rolling for the fourth race of the afternoon.
Sugar, here we go. Fourth race, the Grand River Raceway Pace. Here we got Sir Lucknow, James McDonald, Tuka Rasp, Tyler Borth, EL Wild Sports, Scott Ray, Affair Somewhere, Travis Henry, he's touring, Brett McDonald, Spare Time Sir, Natasha Day, furthest out, TJ Spitfire, Colin Kelly. In the second tier, Poplar Luke, Scott Young. Race 4 starts right now. They're off. It's on. Tuka Rasp. He's going to get the first call off the car. A good beginning for EL Wild Sport and Speed. From the outside, TJ Spitfire. And Tuka Rasp has found the front end for Borth. Looking to pocket up into second is EL Wild Sport. Away in third is Sir Luck Now. That one comes ahead of TJ Spitfire, who looks to drop into fourth. A mid-pack fifth for Affair Somewhere. That comes out of He's Touring. Poplar Luke, Spare Time Sir. Going to backstretch move. Here comes Sir Luck Now, 1-5 to grab the racetrack for McDonald, and he's going to clear to the opening panel in 29 seconds flat. On hold in second, Tuka Rasp tracking from third. EO Wild Sport continuing to travel from fourth is TJ Spitfire and Colin Kelly. That one comes ahead of Affair Somewhere. He's Touring continues to protect pylon position in sixth, but now gets a peek to the outside for McDonald. Following on the cover, Spare Time Sir. Your trailer in eighth to the inside is Poplar Luke, and Sir Luck Now in full command here past the halfway point. 59-1, 30-1 in the second quarter. Tuka Rasp with the toe-long journey in second. First up on the outside, here comes Affair Somewhere for Travis Henry. A second of her toe up into fourth as he's touring, and saving ground in fifth, EL Wild Sports. Spare Time Sir now getting in the mix for Natasha Day. Seventh best to the inside, TJ Spitfire, and Poplar Luke begins to gap, and Sir Luck Now is under serious attack by Affair fair somewhere. Winding up 3 wide on the outside as He's Touring has a huge shot for Brett McDonald. 3/4 bound in 1:28.3. The pace begins to quicken, and Sir Luck now trying to hold off a late rally on the outside from He's Touring, meeting to fade between horses. A fair somewhere. 3 wide. Spare time Sir, and off the back end TJ Spitfire. They swing for home. Sir Luck now on the outside. He's Touring keeps on coming. The late surge on the outside, and He's Touring is going to get up to win it in the 4. Sir Luck now holding on for second. Maybe EL Wildsport for third. 1:58.3. McDonald for Horner. He's Touring 1:58.3 for a new lifetime speed badge.
Time mark.
There you go, a new lifetime mark, 1:58.3 here as we are well into the month of December and under some snow-covered track conditions here today. He's Touring, big effort. It was very cool to see on the drone shot, Randy, the big 3-wide move in the backstretch, 3 wide much of the final turn and kept going.
That was a really that was a very exciting race. We had a backstretch move, we had lots of horses move leaving out of there, and then Brett puts on that huge move, and I thought it was maybe going to hurt him a little bit. It looked like he was going to get stuck out 3, maybe even 4 wide around the turn, but once he was able to clear that horse and get a clear shot at James, the horse race fantastic.
So James finishing second there, yet to find the winner's circle so far today. Again, we've seen a lot of it, though, this afternoon. A beaten favorite, a heavy favorite, beaten, racing well, but just one other horse in the race coming up big and knocking off the favorite. We'll see if that comes into play later in the competition. Big win for Brett McDonald. Kind of needed, I think, a win at this point to get himself back into the mix, and that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, for sure. He's telling them right now, hey, boys, I'm still here. And it was a really well thought out drive by Brett. Really, really well done. I myself there, I've seen such huge improvement from Brett in the last few years. He's always had wicked talent, but I just find in the last few years he's starting to becoming more confident and is able to just make more speed out there and more into what he's doing and that. And I think he's really shining right now.
And what a year it's been for Brett. We talked about it earlier today, but if you missed it, he is the leading driver at Flamborough. Looks like he's going to easily win the driver's title there this year. And he'll be adding that to a driver title from Georgian Downs and Grand River Raceway, all in the same season. So he's kind of quietly had an outstanding 2022 campaign. Not to mention the horses that he owns that are doing big things. We talked about Salzbrook Victor winning last night at Woodbine Mohawk Park in 49-2. Career best clocking for him.
Yeah, and I mean, Thursday night we didn't race. So Friday night there, the track was raceable. And then Saturday night, it's still feeling that effects from that ice storm that we had Thursday, and he still goes out and paces a mile and 49.
Another double-digit winner on the day, 1040 for He's Touring, triggering a super high-five combination worth $367.35. So we're just past the midway point on this Holiday Driver Challenge Day. We'll be back with more in a moment here on COSA-TV.
By now, you know the name COSA-TV, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. COSA-TV has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out hpibet.com. COSA-TV, taking Ontario racing global.
Enjoy the thrill of the race anywhere, anytime with hpibet.com. Join for free and use your smartphone, tablet, or PC to watch and wager when you can't be at the track. Stream live racing from over 450 tracks. Bet with ease from anywhere. It's safe and secure. Get rewards, race alerts, tips, and more. For a limited time, get $100 when you become a member. Plus, 1 month free live race streaming, and your first bet is on us. Go to hpibet.com to join for free today.
Most memorable, probably most favourite moment so far in my career would be the 6 wins here at Western Fair Raceway. A few months back. So, 6 in a row. I don't think I'll ever do that again anywhere, and pretty proud to do that. Clearly my dad. Yeah, he's been there, done it all, and had good horses. So you just want to try and follow in his footsteps as good as you can. And if you can go one better, that'd be even, great. I think it's just being a horseman, just how to be a true horseman, how to listen to the horse, how to look after the horse, just be a true horseman. They're the horses that get us over the line and make us the money. So you've really got to look after them. Best person who played Christmas would have to be Will Ferrell. Yeah. He nails it. He just nails it. The stupidity just nails it. Yeah. I mean, Elf is always one. I don't really kind of watch too many of the Christmas movies. I think the old classics are more what I like to watch. They just, I don't know, something about the old school classics, the black and whites. Yeah, I prefer them at Christmas time than more of the newer ones or the Home Alones and things like that. Yeah. Two weeks before Christmas. Then in my books you're allowed to play the Christmas music. And I love Christmas, but I save the Christmas music till 2 weeks before, then I can you're okay, you can listen to it then. The parrots, I generally do a Christmas photo every year with the tree and the parrots standing in front of it. That's like my Christmas card. Yeah. So, we get a few ornaments get butchered in the process, but they're allowed. It's so good to be invited to basically drive in these events. It's a good cause. It's great exposure for the causes, and it's just a lot of fun. And we don't mind doing it for someone that might be less fortunate, or I think we're pretty lucky with what we do, and we come out of it all right at the end of the year. So it's nice to give to those who mightn't be as fortunate as what we are.
Nat Day, who won the OLG Women's Driving Championship here earlier this year, where she swept all 6 races. She was our first winner this afternoon, so a nice start to the day, and she's well in the mix. Our most recent winner was Brett McDonald, getting himself into the mix with a victory. And as mentioned, what a year it's been for Brett. He's in his 8th full season of driving, closing in on the 1,500 win milestone, and he's topped the $10 million mark in career earnings. One of those guys, Randy, I think we both would agree, we feel like he'll be one of those next guys you see breaking in at on the WAG circuit.
Yeah, and it's amazing. When I grew up, the biggest thing that everybody used to always say to me was that you cannot be a driver because you're too tall. But over the years, it seems like some of the better drivers, taking myself out of the equation, have been those tall, slender guys like a Dexter Dunn, Brian Sears, Timmy Tetrick. Now we have our top B-track driver here, like I said, three driver titles in 1 year, and a tall, slim guy. And I don't know how that works or whatever, but it just seems like you're seeing more and more of that lately. When I was younger, you didn't really see that. They were all built like my father that way. They were, shorter and a little bit lighter in stature and that. And this guy can make speed as good as anybody out there.
You're right. It seemed to be
changed.
More of a rarity back in the day.
Yes.
The guy that I remember that was kind of different was Cat Manzi. He
Yes.
was kind of that tall, but such a nice set of hands.
Right.
Tony Morgan was a little bit taller guy, but for the most part, you're right. There was a certain
it's changed
certain
a
build
bit
for the top drivers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And well, we'll see if that continues here for a guy like Brett McDonald. Certainly a bright future, and he's got a win under his belt today. So the standings, we continue to see some movement there in our challenge here this afternoon. Race number 5 is brought to you by Jimmy Freight. And the last time we worked together here, Randy, would have been Camlock Classic night, and what a show he put on that evening.
Yeah, it was just so unfortunate that what happened to him, where he got injured right after that. It just seemed like he'd found his form again. He was back winning the Open. I mean, he looked like he was going to be the next Bulldog. And then he got hurt, and then Bulldog took over. The only thing I can say for him, though, is that I think it's going to make his career as a racehorse last a little bit longer, that he didn't get caught up into that speed show this summer.
Yeah, what a comeback for Jimmy Freight.
Yes.
And he looked so good in winning here that night. So we hope he'll be back for next year's edition.
I think so.
We're already we've got him penciled in, so to speak. As long as he's back racing at that time, we hope he'll be back to try and defend, and it'll take a good one to beat him. That is for sure. Scott Young, again with his 2 wins today, sits atop the standings, but James has closed the gap. He's now in second, as you said. He's just been kind of lurking, now slowly working his way up. Nat Day, right there in the mix with 25, tied with Travis Henry, current leading driver here at the Raceway. And Brett McDonald vaults himself up into a contending position now. He sits 5th, but not that far off with 22 points. He's tied with Tyler Borth, Scott Ray, Colin Kelly. When a win for Scott Ray or Colin Kelly would put them right into the mix. So with this format, over 9 races, still a lot of time, and that leaderboard can change all afternoon long, and that's what makes it so entertaining.
Nobody's running away with it.
Absolutely not.
And I can always remember the golf telecasts. They'd always describe Tiger as lurking. He'd be sitting around 4th or 5th.
It's a good analogy.
And he just all of a sudden, at the last few holes, here comes Tiger with the big move. And I think that at some point we're going to see the same thing out of James. But, he can't afford to let these other people back into it too. And, I mean, right now, this race that I look at it, Natasha Day, Scott Young, Tyler Borth are my top 3 picks. And if either of those 3 win this race, it's going to be tough for James to reel them in. He can't let them get too far ahead of them. He's done a fantastic job at this point, but if he plans on winning this thing, he's going to have to come up with a win at some point.
So today kind of compares to the back 9 on Championship Day here, if we're going to use the golf. I mean, hey, we might as well think of golf, because at this time of year, it is nice to be thinking about when we'll eventually get to
warm
be back
sport
out on the golf course. Now, it must be fun to get out in the mornings at this time of year, Randy, when it's minus 15 or 20 out, and get out and train horses. And that leads me to a question from one of our viewers. Denise Bond asked you, Randy, she said that you mentioned earlier you train horses in the morning. She's wondering, do a lot of drivers actually do some training of horses in the morning?
I always did it. I stayed right with it. I mean, I got my start working for a guy's barn, Fred Hoffman. I always went in his barn. But what happens, though, as a driver, because you're working nights, there comes a point where you're going to get tired, and in some of those mornings you're not going to want to be out there. But I always tried to do it. I went to Jeff Gillis's barn, Corey Johnson's barn. I've always tried to stay with the barn. And so I'm going to say that most catch drivers that are active at night, a lot of them don't show up in the barns in the morning. Scott Young would come to the barn in the morning because he's got some horses with his dad and that. But I will say this, though. Every morning that I'm on that track, I see a guy on the track with me who, in my opinion, is the greatest 2-year-old teacher of any driver I have ever seen in my life, and that is huge praise for me, and that is Mr. Stephen Condren. Works for Tony Beaton. He's out on the track every day, and I'm telling you, it is amazing to watch this guy with a young horse. It really truly is. I think some people think you just sit behind a young horse and to teach. This guy is a teacher. He is amazing, and yeah, so there are a few drivers that get out in the mornings, but it seems to be more like the old farts like me and Steve.
All right, nice segue here as we're enjoying a rare matinee program here at the Raceway. It's the Holiday Drivers Challenge, 3rd edition, just passing the midway point as it's time now for some of these drivers to start making their moves in the competition. Race 5 on deck.
Shark in the back tier spot. A 16th out. Here they come. They're off. Penny's Noir trying to lead. Big Bad Jen is there. Rose Run Vigilant and stacking them up on impulse from that rail advantage. Widest of all, Penny's Noir gunning here for Totterborth along the inside. Rose Run Vigilant, and Day is going to give the cold horse shoulder here in the early going to Borth. She's come on through with Rose Run Vigilant at 2-1, pocketing up in second. Penny's Noir all alone in third. Rose Run to Vigilant away in fourth. Big Bad Jen at 3-2, traveling at a fifth. We've got Tiger Shark next in line, sixth. A Mini Million. Then came Mock Shark, the earliest trailer. Blissful and Marie. 28-1. They zipped it right along here, and they're all giving chase to the pace setter. Rose Run Vigilant continuing second. Penny's Noir staying in there third on impulse and uncovered. Big Bad Jen gets put in play by Young. That's cover for Tiger Shark getting chased up at a fifth. Following on that move is Mini Million. Next to last, Mock Shark, and still trailing Blissful and Marie. 59 seconds flat the halftime, and it's Rose Run Vigilant leading with 3/8 left to go. Off stride, Mock Shark. Mock Shark made a break at the 5/8. Battle on down the backside. Big Bad Jen goes a full length in front of pace setter. Former pace setter Rose Run Vigilant out of the backfield now travels a Mini Million. Up between pacers was Tiger Shark, fifth and in Penny's Noir. 3/4 up in 128-2. It's still Big Bad Jen. She's got it by 2.5. Rose Run Vigilant trying to come back. Tiger Shark sticking around between pacers. Into the stretch they come. And the McQueen Barn doing good things. McQueen Barn doing McQueen things. They're winning again here in the fifth. Big Bad Jen, Young on board. And, yeah, he's hit the winner's circle multiple times today. Rose Run Vigilant stayed on for second. Then Tiger Shark third. It was on impulse finishing fourth. 159-3. Big Bad Jen. The smart money was the early money. 3-2.
Third winner of the afternoon for Scott Young through 5 races, and gets it done here with another Stuart McQueen pupil. Another winner on the card for that barn as well. Rose Run Vigilant, Nat Day, another good result for her. Going to keep her right into the mix as her and Scott will start to get a little bit of separation on the field after leg number 5 is completed. And there's Travis Henry in for third with Tiger Shark. Bit of an incident at the 5/8. Mock Shark with a rare miscue, but fortunately driver James McDonald and the one in behind were quick to react, and nothing came of it.
No, but I mean, again, though, like you're dealing with 8 really, really top-notch drivers here, and the way that James reacted to the horse, you know, to keep him upright and going forward, and the idea that Scotty, I think it was Scotty Ray sitting behind him, more or less stood right up in the race bike to try to bring his horse to a dead stop to miss James. You know, I mean, it was an instant reaction by Scotty Ray, and I love seeing that kind of thing. It means he was paying attention.
There's a look at the answer coming back, and confidence really goes a long way. Right? He won early, and now he's just brimming with confidence. And do you find that when you get in that kind of a zone, the decisions that you make in a race almost just come on their own, like you don't even have to think about them?
Yeah, more or less there. I mean, when things are rolling for you, you're not coming up with a plan as much as that you're just racing the horse the way that the race the way the race is going. I always remembered listening to professional poker players always saying that sometimes you can't play the cards that you're dealt. You got to play the players. And I think that that's what happens in this case here. You know what I mean? Like, he can go right out his next race, maybe be driving a horse that's 20-1, whereas if he wasn't having a good day, he wouldn't be confident and give it a shot. But you'll take risks when you're doing that. When things are going your way, you'll take a risk. Or as a golfer, when Tiger was on his game, he would take risks and that he wouldn't normally take. And I think that's what you're starting to see with Scotty. Like right now, he is absolutely pumped. He knows he's having a big day, and he knows that he could actually be on for a big day, because we still have 3 races to go, and he's already had 3 wins. So, I mean, unless he's planning on sweeping it, this could be a phenomenal day for Scotty.
We talked about it at the top of the show, what James McDonald did recently, winning 8 in a single night at Mohawk, and Nat Day winning all 6 here in the OLG Driving Championship a couple of months back. It's almost like Scott said, well, you know what, I've got to have my moment. We talked about it off the opening today. Will someone else jump up and do something special today? And, well, so far so good for him. 3 wins through 5, and if he adds 1 or 2 more, that's something we haven't seen certainly in this driver challenge before. Big Bad Jen, $5.10 a winner. Nice try return there, $222.60, our biggest superfecta payout of the day so far, $1,847.65. 'Tis the season for big payouts potentially here at the Raceway. We'll take another quick break. We'll be back with race number 6 next.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Anytime there's a driver's challenge at any track for harness racing, it creates a lot of hype. The lead up to it, people talk about it. So when the day arrives, the drivers do their thing, and we know there's a lot of eyes on us because there's always such a great lead up to an event like that. Yeah, when it first got talked about, I was on board easily. Christmas is always a special time of year, and to have Toys for Tots involved, and there's been numerous people involved in just a few years. It continues to grow each and every year, and I still get behind it 100%. It's a great cause. I mean, I come from a big family, a lot of kids we're looking for a present under the tree on Christmas Day. We didn't have much, but we sure had a lot of fun. You know what? Just being able to wake up real early in the dark of the night and tiptoe downstairs, hoping the parents wouldn't hear us, and my big brother Dave helping me open gifts and going out on the front porch to
to fire off a cap gun. Just memories like that stick with you forever. That one is just way too easy. I wish the horses were this easy to pick. Will Ferrell all day long.
All right, welcome back inside the paddock as we are a couple minutes away from race number 6. I got a couple of drivers joining me, both with the last name McDonald, not related, but both been racking up the wins in 2022. Brett McDonald to my left. I'll start with you, Brett, and you had a win a couple of races ago. That had to feel pretty good. One you had to certainly work for with a big 3-wide move.
Yeah, he raced good. He'd been getting away, kind of not that great, so Mike just said put him on a helmet, and the helmet kept coming, and he raced good.
It's been a good 2022 for you. How would you sum up your season to this point?
Your career year for sure. It's been really good, so that worked out really well.
That's the one thing that you, for young drivers, you watch. I'm sure you want to just continue to up your numbers from the year prior, but have you exceeded all your expectations this year?
Yeah, like when I first started driving, that was my goal. Every year, have more money and more wins and stuff like that, and every year it's been good, so just keeps getting better.
Well, best of luck in 2023.
Thank you very much.
All right, and James McDonald to my right, once again having another career year, leading the nation in wins and earnings. James, so I got to go right back to race number 5 there. Maybe you can tell us what happened at about the 5/8.
Yeah, my horse, she felt like she was starting to get in gear, and she was moving along pretty good, and she, unfortunately, it was just one of those things. She hooked a shoe, and she half fell down and then got hit from behind. I was really lucky to avoid injury, but, you know, that's just part of the game. Unfortunately, that stuff happens sometimes. Lure ball, lucky to get out of her unscathed and carry on to the next race, and we got to make a big rally here late.
Well, Randy Waples was talking a bit about how you might be like Tiger late on Sunday on the back 9. You've been hanging around, but now's the time to make the move, isn't it?
Yeah, I might need to throw Scotty Ray's red suit on there, get the Sunday red on, but yeah, I hope so. You know, looks like I got some nice horses to drive left, and you know, I'd really love to mount a big comeback and win here, because I don't think any of us could tolerate Scott Young winning.
Last question for you. I know over the next couple of months, so probably a lot of time to reflect on 2022, but for you, how happy have you been with this season, considering what you did in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, 2021 was just a dream come true. Like the year just kept getting better and better, winning big stakes, and just having an unbelievable year. So this year I just went into the mindset, just try and stay consistent. You know, don't worry about last year, just try and bang away. And this year's just, you know, it's been another step forward and another unbelievable year. So I can't thank all the owners, trainers, grooms, horses. You know, they've all performed at the top of their game, and they made my job really easy. And just hopefully I can keep banging away for years to come.
Certainly that'd be a good plan. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Congrats on a great year, and best of luck. We still got 4 races to go, so now it's time for that late round surge.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, let's go back into the grandstand with Greg and Randy.
Thank you very much, Mark. Nice to hear from both Brett and James. And yeah, James is going to have to try and rally, and they all are going to have to try and pick up their game here if they're going to catch Scotty Young. Friendly little barb there from James towards Scott. And, you know, Scott's a great sport, and you know, he's got that type of personality, right, that people like to have fun with him. So he's having fun out there, and he's all smiles right now with 3 wins on the day and a nice lead. But Nat Day's kept herself nicely in the hunt here, and a win could quickly erase that deficit here. Travis Henry, James, and Brett not far off there, 3rd, 4th, and 5th respectively. Kind of fun hearing from some of the folks in our little feature vignettes there. Some fun things kind of away from the racing game. We've been asking a few of them their favorite Christmas movie. I'll put you on the spot. Now, you seem like you'd be an Elf guy, a Will Ferrell guy, but that's an assumption. I have no idea.
Of the 4 that you have there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I go Elf. I love Will Ferrell. But my favorite Christmas movie has always been National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase.
Right. You were teasing me today when we were decorating the
Greg Griswold.
studio.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, listen, at least you were
that is a great one.
At least you were Greg Griswold. I told you who I was. Cousin Eddie.
Right. You know, I watched the other night Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn, and as I've watched that a few times over the years, that one's grown on me. That's really moved up near the top for me in terms of Christmas movies.
And the Home Alone ones were great.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So many great ones for sure. Let us know, our viewers, do you have a favorite Christmas song or Christmas movie or Christmas character? Let us know.
On the Christmas thing, I have a question for you. In Ontario, we as kids would look forward so much to the Sears Christmas wish book. Did you guys get that down there too?
We did.
Can you remember that, being a kid waiting for that thing to come in the mailbox?
I do. You and I can remember a lot of things from when we were kids. Remember the old rotary phone?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. See, the problem is, though, is that I don't look like
channels?
a kid. You still look like a kid. The rabbit ears.
The rabbit ears. You had to get up off the couch and go adjust the rabbit ears.
Or the washing machines that you actually put the clothes in the wringer.
Yes.
No such thing as a microwave.
But you're right. We did get the Christmas wish book, and
that was an exciting day.
It
Remember
certainly
that?
was.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I can't remember if they I don't think they still do that, do they? Probably with all the online now.
Doubt it.
Yeah, we do. But I mean, when you were a kid, I mean, there was nothing like seeing that catalog come in the mailbox.
Well, we want to again welcome all of our viewers tuning in today. Good friends of the show, Mark Anderson's watching in as always. Buddy of mine, Robbie McMillan from down on the East Coast, tuning in today. Mark Border is joining us. Yves Corbin from Trois-Rivières, Quebec. Hello, Yves, and happy holidays to you. Joanne Bickney, I should say, from Cream Ridge, New Jersey. Welcome to her tuning in today. And James Ross from Utopia, Ontario. Just some of the viewers watching this afternoon. Welcome to everybody, and all the best here for the holiday season. Race 6 this afternoon is sponsored by the Vic Putty Stables. Thank you to Vic for sponsoring a race today in the competition. His barn enjoying another excellent season, and one of the busier conditioners in the province, races at several different venues. I think still races regularly even at Rideau Carleton, along with horses down this way. Race number 6, we're back on the trot. Another good field of 8 here. Another heavy favorite. This time it's for Charmbrel Prince for Brett McDonald. So Brett with an opportunity here. If he can deliver, a win would get him right back into the hunt, probably in the top 2, and elevate him in the point standings. So he could be making a big rally late along with James.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, this is what they have to do. They can't afford to let the answer get too far ahead of them, because they'll never be able to reel him back in again, because he seems to be picking up checks with some horses that he doesn't necessarily look like he could too. So he's playing the game pretty good too, but he's also solidifying that game with winning a lot of races.
We've got another question for you here from Yves from Quebec. Randy, who wants to know, will you be driving again? Where are you at? Where's your driving career at?
I think my driving career is more or less shutting down, I would have to say, but I don't want to use the word retired. I really do enjoy driving horses. My body can't handle driving 10 a night anymore, and if you're not driving 10 a night, you're just not going to be the factor that I want to be. So, but I do like, jumping up behind them once in a while. The thing that really gets me is I love driving a young horse. I really do. I love sitting behind a gate with a baby that's never been behind the gate before, and then maybe get to drive them 1 or 2 times, and then maybe turn them over to somebody else or something like that. I don't want to give up the driving. I'd like to win a race a year for a while, but my body just can't handle driving 10 horses a night, 40 starts a week. I just can't handle that anymore.
You mentioned Steve Condren earlier, and I would say, like, at the later part of his driving career, that really became his forte, right? Young horses, during stakes season, bringing them along and that type of thing, and he became known for that. And kind of became his niche a little bit, and you're seeing some of the veteran guys now kind of move more into that arena as well. So that could be something that we'll see from you from time to time, like you say, with a young horse or one that you want to sit behind for a particular
and
reason.
even with it's the morning things too. You know how difficult it is there. I don't have to tell you how difficult it is to work late nights and then have to get up first thing in the morning, but I enjoy that aspect of it. I really do. And Dave's got a lot of babies. So, every day that I'm there, I'm sitting behind, probably 8, 9 babies a day. And I just love that. I really do. Watching them become little racehorses, each day that you go out there, they learn a little bit something more and a little bit something more. And it's really thrilling. It really is. It's got to be something to do along the same lines as a coach teaching little kids to play a sport and watching them get a little bit better and better as the season goes on, and every once in a while you'll see a pearl, and that's what I like about it, just watching them move forward into their careers.
Yeah, and it's that time of year where these are the type of horses we're going to watch over the course of the next few months. These are the blue collar workman-like racehorses. Exactly. And then we'll look forward to, into spring times where you start to get excited about 3-year-olds re-emerging, and then the 2-year-olds are on the horizon. And I kind of know how you feel from a different lens. I managed the yearling sale here this past year. It's the first time doing that, and it gives you a whole new perspective on that side of the business as well. And I know I'll be the same this year in watching horses come back, graduates of that sale. And then you'll be thinking ahead to next year's and that whole cycle, right? So it's interesting, and it's kind of a comparison there. Speaking of cycle and things coming full circle, getting back to your new broadcast gig here, some people may not realize that, years ago, and I think it was maybe the early 90s, you can correct me, but you were doing some TV at that time, kind of before your driving career really took off.
Yeah. Frank Sleeve actually approached me and just asked me if I'd be willing to do it. I think he approached me and he approached Karen Fiquette to do it, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic, but I was working for Fred Hoffman in the mornings, and he was starting to drop me down on more horses, and I started to win a few more races, and then other people started using me, and it was a choice, which way do you go? And at that time, like you said, the body was good, and it was exciting, and it's what I wanted to do, so I went the driving route. But I always had this part of it in the back of my mind that at some point, maybe I'd get lucky and there'd be a position, or I could train for it and maybe get a position at some other racetrack. I just never expected that it would be at, Woodbine, and being so lucky as to have Billy McClinchy approach me a few years ago and ask me if I'd be interested in doing it again, and it's been a blast.
Coming full circle, and we're going to be going full circle here twice around. Race number 6 is getting set to go here. Only 4 more left to go here this afternoon in our driver challenge. I want to quickly give a shout out to Frank Kettler, another of our viewers tuning in today from Manitoba. Happy holidays, Frank. Back upstairs with the call of race number 6, I believe Sugar Doyle back in the booth.
Plenty, what can I say, for 7 across, and trailing out is LA Magic. 1/8 of a mile from the start. It's the Trotters for the Vic Putty Stables feature. Here they come. And away they go. Muscles aplenty. Bulls on out of there. Massive ovation up between Trotters. Pot on position. Spun from Magic has decided to stack them up 3 high as they bend on through this opening 8. Spun from Magic being challenged here in the early going. Muscles aplenty being made to work for it. A little steppy there out of 3rd, and backing off into 4th was Massive Ovation. Battle on as they roll quickly to this opening quarter mile. The Trotters are going plenty. This is Spun from Magic winning the early battle. 28 seconds flat, the opening quarter mile speed for the long shot leader, Spun from Magic. Muscles Aplenty now in for the 2-hole ride. Petro Angel looks at it from 3rd with Massive Ovation 4th. 5th and in, LA Magic stayed in. Underway goes the heavy, and I mean heavy, 1-9 favorite Charmbeau Prince now marching with just over a lap to go, and that appears to be cover for the 5. I Am What I Am, and the trailer moving out was, what can I say, 59-1 at the half. So Spun from Magic, he went all in. The big son of Cadabra gets them to the 5/8 second best. Muscles Aplenty still grit grinding his way into it 3rd. Charmbeau Prince straightening for the backside run. Spun from Magic still going forward, trying to reach up on that wheel now. Heavy favorite Charmbeau Prince. Charmbeau Prince offering up the pressure, though. Spun from Magic appears to be a live wire for Borth. 129 and 2 3/4. Spun from Magic, giving fits to the 1-9 Fave, bending around the final turn, holding down third. Muscles aplenty, still gaining from fourth. I Am What I Am. It's come down to these two and into the stretch on the outside. Charmbo Prince, spun from Magic, has led all the way. He's still fighting on. Spun from Magic. Charmbo Prince wants his heart. Charmbo Prince took it away. Spun from Magic was second. I Am What I Am third. Petro Angel fourth. 2 minutes flat.
Another great finish, another 2-horse breakaway there, Randy, and it looks like Brett got it, I think, on the outside. Another one that really had to work for it, though, is Spun Magic. The long shot for Tyler Borth looked like for a long way this one was going to hold on and go all the way on the front end, and even in the stretch fought back and made it very close. But I think Brett got there right at the end, and that's crucial, I think, because a win here for him gets him back up nipping at the heels of the leader in the competition, Scott Young.
And I think that you're going to see a flip in that leaderboard again there too. You know, I mean, it's just going to completely change, and that's the beauty of these competitions. You know, I mean, you can think you have it all sewed up, and a lurker can come along and, you know, maybe steal a little bit of your thunder. So, I mean, obviously Brett there, he's stoked up about this now too. He's had 2 wins, and I think that it's just going to add to his confidence as well. And, you know, Brett could end up taking this whole thing down.
It very well could. And there's, again, Tyler Borth, Nat Day. Big look at the odds as well. Nat 90-1.
Wow.
Third. I mean, that's a great result. And for Tyler, almost a win, almost an unexpected win based on the odds. But 17-1, second there. And I suppose those odds are inflated, certainly, because the 4 did end up going off at 1-9. So it was very nearly another heavy, prohibitive favorite.
Yep.
Coming that close to getting knocked off again by another horse who steps up with a big effort. So
he needed every inch of the track.
He certainly did. And there's a look at Mr. Ryer, co-owner and trainer of the horse. And is that Emma? I think that's Emma and the painted pony there, the parade marshal.
Beautiful.
Looking great out there, as
do we
always.
Have some COSA, do we have some Cujo footage on that race bike there? Do we have a camera?
Oh, it looks like we do. They've got the 360
I'm gonna like
camera.
That.
Wired 360.
There
Tune
you
in
go.
for that coming up in a couple of days.
That would be a nice shot.
Maybe, and we'll do that, Randy. We'll make a deal right now. We'll have to remember to do it. Some night when you know you're driving a couple, we'll have to put the 360 wired camera on you.
Just as long as I'm not mic'd up.
Well, you have to be mic'd up.
Oh, I don't. Come on, Greg. You know me better than that. Do you really want to hear what I have to say in the middle of a race?
Absolutely. As long as you can keep it respectable.
That could be a problem.
$2.10 winner here. Boy, anyone that backed Charmbo Prince at that price had to be a little nervous halfway through the stretch. A Spun for Magic gave that one all that he could handle, but the favorite does deliver some low-priced returns here in race number 6. So we are getting down to the home stretch. 3 more to go here on the Holiday Drivers Challenge from the Raceway.
Harness Racing Update is the sport's most comprehensive and timely news source. HRU covers the sport from all angles with news, features, photography, opinion, and analysis of racing. Also, HRU covers breeding and sales, as well as industry stories you need to know. It's all delivered by a deep, diverse, and talented team of writers and photographers. And the best news is that it's free to subscribe. Subscribe to HRU today for free at harnessracingupdate.com. and see what everyone is talking about.
For over 25 years, Tara Hill Stud has worked with partners to help produce champion stallions. We are proud to have bred great racehorses like Fade Out, Shower Play, Precious Delight, and There's a Demon in Me. Our stallions, past and present, have had tremendous success while making a huge impact on racing across North America. Mr. Levesque, Mach 3, Cadabra, Muscle Mass, and Precious Bunny, to name a few. Our Stallions progeny have won major events, including the Hambletonian. Tara Hills Stud are currently standing 9 of the industry's top stallions. Alarm Detector, Control the Moment, Danson Lou, Flanagan Memory, Green Manalishi, He's Watching, Muscle Mass, Resolve, and Sports Writer. Our facility is modern, our staff knowledgeable. Consider Tara Hills Stud when choosing a home for your stallion. Tara Hills Stud, where champions stand and champion yearlings are raised. Log on to tarahills.com.
Yeah, the Toys for Tots event that we're doing with the drivers. Third year we're doing it. From association perspective, super thrilled to be able to, again, give back to our community. It's one of our 3 pillars, community, sustainability, agriculture, being those 3. Obviously a tie-in with essentially all 3 of them. Just that ability to be able to put some smiles on kids' faces this holiday season. Third year, we're going to be able to do that with the support of the drivers and, of course, our entire horse community, not just here, but other locations in the province, up to and including Woodbine Mohawk Park. Absolutely thrilled to have that opportunity and to be able to keep growing this event. That there were some naysayers at the beginning, but I think we've proved them wrong, and this event continues to grow and will continue to grow as we move forward. I think it was more of an affirmation than a surprise, really, of just how giving our community partners, our horse people, how giving and how much they care. They see a great cause and they really wanted to jump behind it. I would say the growth from year 1 to year 2 was a little bit larger than I was expecting, but it affirmed what my thought was when we created the event in the first place, was that this event could be very big very quickly. Could really be a significant fundraiser for Toys for Tots charity, and it has done that. And it's the giving nature of our horse community, the drivers, and our entire paddock, as well as the rest of the province, that it's really led to the growth of the event already. And what we see is steady growth moving forward to continue to be one of the largest donators to the Toys for Tots charity in the province. And the larger it gets, the more people will be able to help out, the more kids will be able to help out during the holiday season, and that really hits home and is something that we definitely want to be a part of and put our full weight behind. All very unique. Obviously, Macaulay Culkin's going to, he's going to win the younger generation in terms of that piece. Myself, wasn't a big Santa Claus fan. I was more, I liked Tim Allen more in his Toy Story roles, to be honest with you, a little Buzz Lightyear. So a toss-up for me. Love Jim Carrey, love the Grinch, but I got to go with Buddy the Elf. That was just so off the wall, and the delivery of Will Ferrell in that role was absolutely crazy, and it showed us that you can put as much sugar on pasta as you wish and eat that for breakfast. So I was quite happy to see that. The first answer is wine, but we'll stick to food. I'm a stuffing guy for sure. My wife does a fabulous sausage stuffing, and recently we've incorporated some fresh jalapeno into the mix, which really gives it a little bit of a pop. So stuffing coming out of the turkey is stuffed. We make sure to take care of it ourselves, but yeah, without the stuffing and of course the wine, I may eat something else that night.
All right, back over here in the paddock. I am joined by Scott Ray as we've got 3 races to go. And Razor, what have you made of the afternoon so far?
Oh, just having some fun, and kind of everyone here in the drive-in's kind of a friend of mine and stuff. So just having some fun and just watching Youngie go, I guess.
It's kind of been the storyline to this point. But you were mentioning, just like James McDonald did before the last race, he mentioned if Youngie wins this, I mean, we're probably going to hear about this for quite some time.
I know, and I'm supposed to go have dinner with him later, so I'll have to get some earplugs. But one thing about Youngie, he loves driving and he loves racing, so he's just coming out of him naturally. So he's just having fun. So
You've been participating in this driver challenge over the last few years, and you were telling me when the lineup comes out, you check it out. Obviously, you want to have the best lineup you can, but at the same time, has your mentality changed over the last few years, the way that you've gone into it, or even the way that the days unfolded?
Yeah, it's the first couple of years I was kind of, when you looked at your lineup, you were really, really into it. And this year I just kind of know, and I'm just coming to have fun, hopefully, and I'd love to do good. And I got a couple tough draws, and mostly just come and do your best, and just get to meet some new guys you haven't drove for, and just race. So
that's something that you bring up right there. It's a little bit of a networking in a sense.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of the horses you never drove, and you've driven against, you kind of get to know their deal a little bit more and stuff. So you just got to take everything as a learning experience, and today's a lot of fun for me. So it's been going good.
All right. Well, last question for you is 2022. What have you made of your season?
So far, I looked and I had more wins and seconds and thirds and everything, more money this year than I ever had. And I've kind of been dealing with a little bit of injuries lately. I had a fall kind of with a yearling, and just trying to get better every year, and just trying to just stay healthy. And that's kind of the main thing in this, and just have fun and go to work every day too.
Well, my last question, I guess I still have one more, because you mentioned about that injury you're battling, your back. What's it like in the cold? Does that make it tough, challenging racing in the winter?
Me and James, he had the same injury. His horse almost kind of fell about the whatever race there, and I give a yank, and I can feel it right now. But whatever, it's just like every other sport. You got to be tough. So. And this is almost tougher than most sports, so you just got to be tough, and it's what you do.
I would agree with that, especially in those conditions.
Yeah.
Everyone gets it, probably those pro athletes, nice and cushy on the massage table after.
Yeah, the football players probably got it worse. So.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to it. Keep grinding, and we'll talk to you later on. All right, guys, let's get back to you in the grandstand.
Yeah, always entertaining, Scott Ray, and he knows what it's all about, right? He's just having some fun out there today. Another second-generation horseman. His father, Jack, well known around these parts, still operates a large stable, and he and Scott have had a great deal of success together. And we'll wish him well in the recovering back injury as well. Let's take a look at the updated leaderboard. Scott Young holding the top spot with 50 points. Nat Day 8 behind. Brett McDonald's now vaulted his way up into third, just 1 point behind Nat, and within range of the leader, Scott Young. James still in the hunt, along with Travis Henry and Tyler Borth. Scott and Colin round out the field. They've all been able to pick up their share of points today here as well. And there's still time, even for Colin Kelly. If he could go on a bit of a run here in the final 3 legs and win a couple, he'd get himself into the mix as well. But the common denominator, Randy, we're kind of laughing. They all really want to beat Scott, because they're all worried about the chirping that could come after if he can hang on here. What's that tell you?
It's like you said, he's one of those kinds of guys that you like to have fun with, and Scotty is not shy of confidence. He's very confident, and he knows what he wants, and a perfect Scott Young story. This happened eons ago when he was just very, very young, maybe 15 years old, but he was at Georgian Downs 1 year warming up horses for his dad, and he borrowed Danny Clements's driving boots, and Danny Clements was the leading driver at Georgian at that time. Scott couldn't have been any older than probably 13, 14 years old. Danny Clements says to him there, he says, "Hey," he said, "I just cleaned those boots. Why didn't you take the dirty set?" So Scott took them off and handed them back to him or whatever, and he says, he says, "In 5 years," he says, "you're going to probably be cleaning my boots." So he's never been short of confidence, but he's not a bad, you like him, he's just the way that he puts it out there. He'll throw snowballs, but he has no problem taking a lot of snowballs back, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah, he's no problem at all poking fun at himself.
Exactly.
There's the famous viral video of him falling off the race bike at Flamborough when they're coming out of the paddock, and to this day people still will post that, and it'll stir up conversation, and he's the first one to laugh. Here's a perfect on the Scotty Young thing too. There, the one time we were racing the Confederation Cup, and Yannick Gingras
came to race at Flamborough that day, and this is a few years ago, so Scott had never met him. So anyway, Scotty being Scotty, he just walked right up to him, put his hand out and said, "Hey, Yannick, I'm Scott Young." Yannick says to him, he says, "Oh," he said, "I've never met you before." He said, "But I love your movies."
Good stuff. And Yannick, there's another guy with a great sense of humor, obviously,
yes,
as well, and loves to be a bit of a joker behind the scenes, certainly.
The big joker's still down there, Mark McDonald.
Yeah,
that's chronic.
Yeah. And boy, are they ever enjoying he has the mic'd up segment. What do they call it? Mark on the mic, I think is what they call it. And that became the running joke, right? Because I don't think has he won a race that he's been on?
Oh, I don't
think
so.
He won one time. But typically the guys that he's competing with knock him off, and they have a lot of fun at his expense, and but he is another guy too that I think he can dish it out, but he can take it back.
Oh yeah, he can. He all the McDonald's, I mean, they talk sometimes about the Cam Fellow Award up here for meritorious service to the harness racing industry. I'm still thinking that maybe Fred and Gail McDonald should get it because, man, they've released a lot of talent into this industry and a lot of fun too.
Gail should also be nominated for sainthood for raising that group and keeping her sanity. And great lady for sure.
I think I've seen an interview with James the one time where he said something about that if he yapped off Anthony or Mark, he'd find himself zipped up into a hockey bag out in the field with the horses running around. I never thought about that one. I'm glad my brother never did that to me.
That could happen. We want to say hi to Liz Waples, just messaged as well. And she said she wanted to confirm that Ronnie's favorite movie is also Christmas Vacation.
Ah,
we talked
beautiful.
about earlier, and they watch it on the big outdoor TV. Life's tough. They get the big outdoor TV down there in Florida, and they watch it. It's part of their tradition. So
it's amazing. The guy's gone from only calling you to find out about horse racing. Now he wants to call all the time and brag about his weather down there and ask about my weather up here. He likes to rub it in.
Yep. Well, another guy, right? That's good at that. Dishes it out, but is good at taking it as well. So hi to Ronnie and Liz watching in today, and the gang down there in the sunny south. As we are enjoying a winter day here in London, but a pleasant winter day. It's been really enjoyable and a real festive atmosphere here at the Raceway today. I know a big crowd upstairs in the dining room enjoying the action here this afternoon. Huge thank you again to all of the horse community who've supported the cause this afternoon for Toys for Tots. Really goes a long way in helping that local organization. I think somewhere in the vicinity of $15,000 raised again this year. So that marks the third year, and almost $50,000 has been raised for the charity. So that really goes a long way in helping, especially here on the local level. Thanks to our race sponsors today as well. Central Ontario Standardbred Association again sponsoring this upcoming 7th race here this afternoon. 3 more left to go. And speaking of the Toys for Tots and the charity component of today's events, once again, we're going to head back to the paddock. Joining Mark McKelvey is Kelly McNiven.
Yes, thank you very much, Greg. As we mentioned a little bit earlier when Kelly joined us, we have another draw that we will be conducting here in just a second. But Kelly, the day's continuing on, and I know you just wanted to take a second to thank those that have helped you leading up to today.
Yeah, of course, we want to thank again everybody who donated. It couldn't have been possible without you guys. And then I want to give a big thank you to my mom. She's brought a lot of stuff to London for me from the Mohawk area. And then Joanne Colville and Emma Christoforou, they were a big help again this year. But again, thank you so much to all the donations.
Contributions all around, and here we have one more draw, and this is for a keg gift certificate, correct?
Yeah, and donated by Twin Brook Farms.
Okay, we'll do the draw right now. We'll pull out one more name and see who the winner is. Nothing like a nice meal at the keg, especially around the holidays. Dylan Jackson is our winner, so I'll give that to you. Congratulations, they're the winner of the keg gift card. And Kelly, once again, on behalf of our team here at COSA, certainly happy to be covering today's activities, and great work once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go back to Greg and Randy.
Thank you very much once again, guys, and a huge thank you to Kelly as well for spearheading all the work behind the scenes and carrying on this wonderful event, which again was started 3 years ago. Greg Gangle, when he was here as racing manager at the time, and Rob Lumsden and the group here got it started, and a lot of people have really helped out along the way to get it to where it is now. It's in its third year, and this is an event that's here to stay, Randy. I know we're enjoying this, I think, more and more every year, and this is going to become a staple of the winter racing season here in Ontario.
Well, that's the thing, and like I said, too, it's starting to get a following on its own. Like, it's a new sort of a thing, so not everybody knows about going on, but every year it builds its momentum. And now I've noticed even in this year, they're starting to talk about it a lot more, like at Woodbine, not amongst the horsemen and stuff like that, and they're always, it's just amazing. It never ends for me. The giving and the heart of the racing industry, that they always seem to step up. It doesn't matter if it's for a horseman that they know, they'll step up to help them. If it's a horseman they don't know, they'll step up to help them. If it's just a good cause, they can't wait to step up to help people.
Let's take a close look at this seventh race, Randy. We're getting into the critical stages of the competition. It's still really wide open. Scott Young got off to the great start, maintains top spot right now, but others are in the rearview mirror. And this is a really interesting race. Nat Dace at second. She's got Shadow Warrior post one. Big shot with this guy, 8-time winner this season. Scott's got a good chance on 3, Art of Fire. I think Brett McDonald warrants a look here with number 8, Little Tags, coming off a qualifying win. Just fitness, I guess, will be the factor there. But a real intriguing race, and this is the type of race that could play a big factor in the final result the way things stand right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and Scotty Young also has another opportunity in here with a first-time starter for William Leon. James has got to, he's going to have to win one. He's going to have to get off that goose egg if he wants to be there rated. And I think he's got a good shot in here. You know these horses better than I do, but don't doubt the Lakers. I think this one has a really, really good shot in here. He likes to win back in the same kind of a class that he normally races in. Picks James up for the first time, and the McQueens do really, really well down on the B tracks. So, I mean, James has to get out there and get a win.
Well, and you mentioned Stuart McQueen. Good day for him. Couple of winners already on the training side. So James could be on a live one here in the post-4 starter. There's a race within the race here as well. The race for leading driver this season in London. It's going to come right down to the end between Tyler Borth and Travis Henry. I think they were just 3 wins apart coming into today. Travis leading the driver standings, but Tyler not far off. So here we go, race 7. This should be a good one. Only 3 left to go on this Sunday afternoon from the raceway.
We have COSA-TV on board with us for this 3rd annual Drivers Holiday Challenge in support of Toys for Tots. It's race 7, sponsored by the Central Ontario Standardbred Association. Pacers are at the top of the stretch. Picking up speed. Here they come. Off and pacing to Mitabayama, timed it perfectly. Deb's new man as well. Borth and Ray setting up 1-2 into that opening turn. And to Mitabayama is on the lead. Second best long shot. Deb's new man up on the outside in third. Put in play in the early going. Don't doubt the Lakers driving on here for James McDonald at 5-2. This is going to be Don't Doubt the Lakers to grab early control. Pocketing up to Mitabayama. Deb's new man traveling in third. 4th best away for Twin B Fearless. Then came Shadow Warrior ahead of Art of Fire. Einhorn, the earliest trailer. Little Tags, 28-4, quarter miles speed. And McQueen has another one in play here today. Don't Doubt the Lakers and James McDonald fronting. Tyler Borth in second with Mitabayama staying in there third. Scott Ray with Deb's new man. An uncovered Twin B Fearless travels first up for Colin Kelly. Kelly. A live cover, apparently, for Shadow Warrior, Natasha Day. Setting it up third over, Art of Fire, Scott Young. Then Travis Henry, Einhorn, Brett McDonald, Little Tags. 50, 9 and 4. Halftime speed 31 flat. Rated second frame for the pace setter. For the front man, Don't Doubt the Lakers to bring him on down the backside. Second and final time. Hightailing at second. Twin B Fearless. Locked in the box there. Third to Mitabayama. 3 wide of the outside. Shadow Warrior. Nat Day's got this one swooping up now to grab second and into the final turn. 3/4. 128 and 4. Still driving on. Don't Doubt the Lakers to Mitabayama. Looking to split horses here. Shadow Warrior apparently has that one boxed in. Just over an 8 left to go. Don't Doubt the Lakers still on the lead to Mitabayama. Bearing down on the outside. Shadow Warrior keeps on coming for Day. James McDonald downtown. Don't Doubt the Lakers, and McQueen is in for 3. Shadow Warrior was second. Third goes to Mitabayama. And to round out the top 4, Art of Fire, 159 and 2.
Another good finish there in race number 7. Big day at the office for trainer Stuart McQueen. We've been focusing on the drivers today, but on the training side, triples up here. This time, James McDonald getting his first win of the afternoon with Don't Doubt the Lakers, and a crucial win at this juncture of the driver challenge day. Nat Day, second place effort, is going to continue to move up in the standings. And we had Scott Young leading coming into this leg, picking up 4th place there. Right. Again, some critical points. So things are going to tighten up again at the top of the standings. But here he is, the defending O'Brien Award winner as Canada's Driver of the Year, notching his first win of the afternoon. Maybe a little surprising it took 7 races for him to do so, just based on, again, his resume coming into today.
You know, it's amazing there that all the big races that he's won so far in his career and the amount of races that he's won a couple of O'Brien Awards. I'm guessing right now at this moment that no win means any more to James McDonald than the one that he just did. He needed that. You know, and nobody wants to get the goose egg, and certainly not going to be James McDonald, Canada's leading driver, is going to get the goose egg. You know, he needed that win, and I think too it's going to change the whole complexion of the competition anyway. Because that leaderboard is going to start to fluctuate, and the points are going to start to tighten up, and it's going to really come down to these last 2 races.
Yeah, really excited to have an updated look at that leaderboard in a few minutes. But first of all, more Winter Circle festivities here. And again, a big day for the McQueen camp. This has been a regular occurrence this afternoon. James McDonald getting his first winner of the day. And it's really going to set the stage for an exciting final couple of races in the competition this afternoon. Good look there, too, at the track today with some steady snow overnight and all the way through this morning, and even right up until and during some of the racing today. You see the snow mixed into the track, so it's a kind of a snowy track, but it would be very nice to race on at the same time, right? It'd be a little bit fluffy, a nice bit of cushion there on the top. It's just a matter of whether it's a little slippery. And so far today in watching the races, most of them seem to be getting a hold of the track quite well.
Oh, I think so, yeah. I mean, that's one thing that we do have in Canada because of the way nature kind of batters us around. We need really expert track guys, and we do have them up here. We've got some excellent, because that's the thing, you go to down in the States and certain parts of North America, they don't have to deal with the ice and the snow that we do. Like, these guys have to be able to get that track right back into running order. And I mean, a little earlier today we had a mile going 58. I mean, they've had a really good the track's in very good shape, I think.
Yep, Doug and Alex Lilly's been helping out here. Hank Lilly's now on the team here. So the Lilly clan, they do a wonderful job here. And yeah.
Track crews never get enough credit.
They do from guys like us,
right?
You know, guys that are, you know, if you're operating a racetrack here in the wintertime, yeah,
you know how
you
important
appreciate
they are.
A good track man, that is for sure. We'll take one more quick break here. We've got 2 more to go. You're watching live coverage of the Holiday Driver Challenge here on COSA-TV.
With more than 150 years of tradition behind it, Century Spring Farms has built a reputation for raising and breeding champions. Like two-time O'Brien Award winner and Horse of the Year, Century Pharaoh. Little Brown Jug champion, Limelight Beach. And current OSS stars, Century Invader and Century Inspector. Their sprawling 200-acre farm in the heart of southwestern Ontario is the ideal location for raising healthy and happy youngsters. Be sure to check out their yearling lineup at this fall's London Classic Yearling Sale. Century Spring Farms, producing champions in Ontario and beyond.
Yeah, so I guess a career highlight for me, I guess, would be, it's not that big of a moment, but probably when I won the Dream of Glory, my mom and my dad and everybody was kind of there. So that's kind of something for me. Oh, definitely my Uncle Trevor, for sure. Used to watch Jody Jameson and Phil Houdon and those guys at Flamborough, you know, Randy, Chris, Mark. Mark was a big one when he came, you know, but definitely my Uncle Trevor. I used to watch him all the time. I'd probably have to go with Tim Allen, or my son would probably kill me at this point. That's his favorite movie right now. Kingston's Christmas list is pretty much anything that comes on YouTube ads. So anything that comes up, any toy he wants, it doesn't matter if it's meant for a girl or a boy, he thinks he wants it. So yeah, it's all over the place right now. It means the world, you know. If it can give back to people who need it, it's great, and I don't mind doing it at all. Christmas dinner, well, I guess just like anything, you gotta have the turkey, the stuffing, cranberries. I've gotta have my mom's cauliflower casserole, that's key. And then Maddie's mom always makes a broccoli casserole that's really good.
Well, shout out there for the cauliflower casserole. That sounds interesting. And I know his mother-in-law makes great cinnamon rolls. I know that.
Well, now you're talking.
Some of those at the
I pass on the cauliflower. Cinnamon buns are good.
Cauliflower casserole, though, I'm sure it's
got cauliflower in it.
You're not a fan. Well, Travis Henry's he's gaining a lot of fans here over the last few years, and you know he's still considered kind of one of the younger guys, but hard to believe he's already been driving 12 full seasons. And what a nice career he's put together so far. Already surpassed 2,000 career wins, $13.5 million, and has always put up a good batting average, always around that 300 mark at the signature track. So no surprise to see him leading the current standings here at the Raceway for 2022 in a tight race with Tyler Borth. Tyler's got the better of him today in the competition, though. He's fourth in the standings. James and Nat just a few points behind Scott. So Scott had the big lead. It's evaporated. It's going to be very interesting. Any one of those top five could win. Furthermore, again, you know, depending how things unfolded, I think mathematically, a lot of guys and gals, for that part, still with a chance to win. Really, really entertaining day so far, and this is exactly what you would want, right? We've used the golf analogy earlier. is there anything better than coming down to the Masters, 2-3 holes left, and 4 or 5 guys with a chance to win?
Yeah, that's what sports is all about, and that's what we wanted. We wanted it to be a friendly competition, but at the same time, we wanted it to be competitive. Make great racing. They've put on an amazing show out there today. There's been great racing. There's really not been a whole lot of park fests or anything like that. It's just like a classy bunch of people out there trying to win races and at the same time raise some money. I love the fact that it's tightened up so much. I mean, it's gone from this big to this big. I mean, Scotty's just out in front, but Scotty, Natasha Day, James, really like any of those 3 or 4 that were on that leaderboard, you can't toss any of them away right now, because all it's going to take is one win and one of those other, maybe not to get the max points, and then you're going to see another flip. This is going to come right down to it.
And the last 2 races look really wide open on paper.
Yes.
No standouts in either of the fields. Good betting board right now that we can see. 8-5 on the post 3 starter in here, and that's Cranky's boy for local driver Scout Ray. Certainly a horse that knows his way around the venue. So yes, there's been a really good atmosphere over there. We've heard from all the competitors today. Lots of smiles, lots of joking around, a lot of fun. But 2 races left to go. A lot of them have a chance to win. How competitive are things going to be over there now?
Oh, I think it's definitely getting very, very competitive, and it's not competitive in a bad way. It's be like you out there with 3 of your friends from high school, and you're playing a round of golf, and you're betting a little bit of money or drinks on it, and it comes down to the 17th hole, and you're all within a stroke of one another.
Yeah.
So it's going to be competitive, because a lot of these people are friends, and they don't, they want to win. They don't want the other guy to win. So it's getting competitive. The points are getting close, and we're getting down to the last couple of races. They don't have many chances left.
One guy that's really looking for a win, not only to get himself elevated in the standings here, but to get himself closer in the standings for the Raceway driver title this year, Tyler Borth. He's standing by with Mark.
All right, thanks so much, guys. I am joined by Tyler Borth. A couple races to go, Tyler, and you've racked up a good number of points. You're just kind of lurking there towards the top 3. 2 more drives to go. You're going to need some top results, but how are you feeling about the day so far?
Yeah, no, it's been good. A couple of the ones that I thought I could win with finished second, so it's better than finishing last, I guess.
I've asked everybody this question, but did you come in with a bit of a game plan, or in these drivers' challenges, you just kind of take it one race at a time?
Yeah, you just take it one race at a time. You kind of read the program. I know pretty much the horses, so I kind of knew what kind of day I was going to have, and it's going according to plan, so we'll see what happens.
You certainly know them here. You've had another banner year coming up on 300 wins. Did you have a goal when it came to 2022 on wins, earnings, and maybe can you sum this season up to this point?
Yeah, no, not at all. January here at the start of this year, I was on a bit of a roll. And then usually when this place closes in the summer, I go to like Dresden, Leamington, and Sarnia. But then I decided to go where there's more money at. So I went to Georgian, Flamborough. I even did Hanover, Clinton in the afternoon. I mean, it was a lot of miles on the truck, but I drove some live horses, and it was a good result.
And obviously looking ahead in your career for 2023, a year like this must give you a lot of confidence going into next year.
Yeah, I would just be happy if I can have years like this year consistently. Has made good money, and I'd be really happy with that.
Oh, it's been a good year. Congratulations on the success. And with 2 races to go, you got the rail here. Let's see if you can make some noise.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, Tyler Borth. He'll be leaving from the rail here in race number 8 with Read the Proposal. Let's go back inside as the horses are going to be exiting the paddock in just a moment.
Well, another look from our paddock location there. Nice to hear from Tyler Borth. A lot on the line here for the last couple of races for Tyler, who's really had kind of a breakout season, if you want to call it that. He was the Rising Star Award winner from a few years ago here in Canada. He's really carved himself out a nice career here, especially locally. But this year, his numbers have jumped up to another level, and he's really become one of the dominant go-to guys here on this circuit especially.
It's nice to see. I mean, I don't know Tyler all that well. I've only met him a few times, talked to him a few times, but seems like a really nice guy. But I remember his dad, and his dad was just an amazing horseman. He could shoe all of his horses, hang them all up, and he's just a really, really hard worker. So it's nice to see that, that has eked down into Tyler, and I think he's had a phenomenal year. I mean, he's driving at a 295 this year. He's already just short of 300 wins. It'd be nice to see him reel off a couple of those wins today, but he's got a huge future ahead of him.
And it all comes down to confidence, and that's what I've noticed as the big difference with Tyler over the last 2 seasons or so. It's the confidence level.
Mm-hmm.
He's driving like, he knows he's got a chance, race in, race out. He's putting his horses into play. Can make speed, can carry that speed a long way. All those good things that are big weapons for a driver, especially on half-mile tracks like we have here in London.
You start your career off, you hope for wins, and then if things start to become successful and the wins start to come, then you almost start to expect the wins, and I think that's what he's gone from. He's gone from driving, hoping that he could get a win here and there, to now he comes in and he's confident. He expects he's going to win races, and that's what shows on the track.
That's a great way to put it, for sure. And we had a look at the flags there a second ago, so it gives you an indication of the weather today. Not very blustery out there. We had some light snowfall earlier. Just a really nice winter day here as we are in the holiday season, and we are in the home stretch of this Holiday Driver Challenge, edition number 3 from the raceway as we meet the field for this second to last leg. And there's the story. You look at the odds of the 8 horses in the field. Longest shot on the board, just 13-1. Lukewarm favorite, 2-1. And one that has the second tier to navigate. For those, again, who don't watch this track on a regular basis, 7 wide, post 8 is a trailing spot. Not necessarily a huge disadvantage, but you've got other horses you have to try and navigate to make your way to the front end.
It's not your decision. That's kind of what always irked me about it there. It's not really your decision. Your decision is going to be what the guy in front of you is going to decide to do. I'd rather be on the gate, have my nose, and let the chips fall. If it's my bad call, then it's my bad call. But it is tough. You got to navigate around, and a lot of these guys are really good at it, especially when they race a lot on a B track. You'll notice that they'll be able to stick right to that one horse if he's leaving. They can time the gate and have that horse of theirs right on the driver's helmet and be able to stay right with them. And it's a talent in itself.
We had to look at the odds board, or the odds board and the leaderboard just a few moments ago, and as we saw, things really starting to tighten up atop the standings. Scott Young maintaining the lead, but it's a small lead now coming into the final 2 legs. James McDonald got the overdue win that he needed in that last race, and things were going along for James. He was in mid-pack. He had that race a few back where had the breaker, the horse he was driving made that sudden break. That could have been a bad situation, but I think another sign of a top driver, maybe you would agree, Randy, is that ability to quickly turn the page, forget about that, refocus. That's what he did in the last race.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've come to know over my life, or learn over my life, is the advice from different guys. And that was one of the biggest things that you were told right from the very beginning, was that if you have a bad night, turn the page, go on to the next night. One day I was in the barn talking to Mike LaChance, and Mike LaChance said to me, the 2 biggest things that a catch driver has to learn is to turn the page on the bad nights, turn the page on the good nights. I never had anybody say to me, turn the page on a good night, because they can be just as devastating as the bad nights. I mean, you get that high and you just can't come off of it for a few days. Whereas on a bad night, you get that low and you can't get away from that for a few days. So, that's the whole thing that you learn as you start to drive horses, that there's always that next race.
Just keeping an even keel approach, and that's what you have to do. Nat Day's done a nice job of that today. She got off the blocks with a win in leg 1, and she's really, I think, maximized her opportunities today would be the way to put it. Enough so that she's kept herself right into the hunt and in good position coming into the last 2 legs.
Well, and like she said earlier in her interview too, last year she finished last. Well, she's certainly not going to be anywhere close to last, no matter whether she wins this or not. She's got to be really proud of the fact that she's gone from last year to probably finishing no worse than 3rd or 4th this year, or maybe even winning it all.
And she made mention of that, but I don't think it's something she dwelled on, right?
No,
I think she just, was hopeful coming in, but she came in with the right approach. Just have fun first and foremost, relax. Scott Ray, we heard from him, trying to take that approach this year, where he admitted that before he's come into these competitions, and he was likely excited and likely overthinking it, trying to over handicap the races and see how they would go and come up with some strategy. And sometimes you can overthink things and take yourself out of the race. So I think they've all come in with that sort of approach here today, and trying to have fun first and foremost, do your best, and let the chips fall where they may, as you said earlier. I think the outside post horses have a chance here. They look good on paper, and one thing we talked about a little bit earlier is that outside posts here at this venue aren't necessarily the disadvantage they are at other half-mile tracks. If you've got some gate speed here, you can get into the race quite quickly from post, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that you're charging into that really tight turn. So if your horse has a bit of gate speed and he's good on the turns, you got a huge advantage. It amazes me every year when you guys have the Molson, watching these fantastic horses come in here and having to navigate around that first turn, and you think to yourself, foiled again. He's used to racing at the Meadowlands, the big tracks. How is he going to handle that first turn? Well, he handled it perfectly, as far as I could tell.
As a driver, Randy, I was just quickly going to ask you. Visually, it's a tight first turn, but it's not as tight or hard to navigate for horses as it may appear visually.
You know what I think it is because you have the building there. And it makes the turn appear tighter, where most tracks, there's nothing in front of that turn. So you don't have that same kind of... that's what I always looked at it. I agree with you. I don't think it's as tight as people try to put it on, but it looks tight. And when you're coming from a big track, like some of these guys coming from the Meadowlands and stuff like that, and they come here, I'll bet you it looks pretty tight to them. I'm just more amazed at how these phenomenal horses like a Jimmy Freight or all these other kinds of horses can come here and navigate this thing so well.
Well, here's a nice vantage point of the oval here in London from atop the field. Our drone shot this afternoon. Good-looking field of 8 assembled for race number 8. Once again, Sugar Doyle.
B Jammer. It's the Sealster Farms feature. Top of the stretch. Picking up speed. Here they come. Off and pacing, and it's number 1 Hit and Day to take them on out of there, though driving up along the inside. Read the proposal, and Tyler Borth came on through here at 8-1. That has Nat setting up for a 2-hole ride aboard number 1 Hit. Gapped off in 3rd is Cranky's Boy, and it's 4th best away for Ace 44 Talon. Away in 5th, Twin B Jammer. Then we go back to Smiling Billy the Kid, Mr. Gaudreau, and the Treller. That is Come On Barney. He's at least 16 lengths off the lead, and they zipped it right along. The opening quarter mile was put up in 28 seconds flat. Read the proposal for Borth. The long shot leader, number 1 Hit, is racing second. Cranky's Boy, he's thinking about it. Cranky's Boy to go first up for Ray. That's cover for Ace 44 Talon. And to set it up 3rd over, Twin B Jammer pairing up now. It's actually 5 out and 3 in with a lap to go. Read the proposal. 59 and 1 halftime speed. Right on the wheel. Travels Cranky's Boy 3rd and in for number 1 Hit. 4th best and wide. Ace 44 Talon. He's going 3 deep right here. Right now for the answer. Following up on that move is Twin B Jammer. Then it's a buried 6 for Smiling Billy the Kid. Off the back end travels Mr. Gaudreau, trailing though not out of it. Come on, Barney, up and by 3/4. Read the proposal, still there. Cranky's Boy still coming in the pocket. That's number 1 Hit. 4 wide on the outside. Twin B Jammer 129 flat for 3/4. Twin B Jammer was 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and going forward with just over an 8 left to go. On the inside, Read the Proposal, number 1 hit. Twin B Jammer still coming on the 3 wide side. Twin B Jammer, Travis Henry. Twin B Jammer at 3-5. Yes. Read the Proposal was second. Number 1 hit third. Finishing fourth was Cranky's Boy in 1:59.4.
Well, that was an entertaining horse race, start to finish. Lots of action early, lots of action at the 3/4 pole. And from that overhead shot, Randy, a really unique and entertaining vantage point to see the 4 wide move, going 4 wide into the final turn here, and made it a cavalry charge. Favorite does pull it out of the fire at the last second.
That was one of the most amazing shots that I've ever seen in harness racing. Like having that overhead going into the turn and then dropping down into the pan. Like it was amazing. What a fantastic bunch of camera work done on here today. I couldn't say enough about it. I could sit here and watch these camera angles and these different shots, and then you put in the really, really top-notch racing that's going on. What a fantastic day.
That is one thing. You make a good point there, Randy. The racing, the action in the races here, typically there is lots of movement. There's flow, there's action, and it's hard to put your finger on why, but it's always been one of the selling points, I think, of racing here. There's some disadvantages, some natural disadvantages, the fact that you only go 7 wide here, etc. But for whatever reason, track configuration and that play into it, there's always seems to be movement early in the mile. It plays fair, and as we saw there, I mean, lots of action, and they bunch up at 3/4 and all kinds of different chances to win the race.
And you know something, and another thing too, like where you got to give credit, in my opinion, with Western, is that if you try to go 4 wide around the last turn at Mohawk or Woodbine, you're going to have a problem. You can do that here. I've seen this tonight a few times where they've come 4 deep, and it's not that they're going by, but they're not losing ground either. And it's a forgiving kind of a track. Like, you can technically win from anywhere. Sure, there's advantages to having the rail and getting out in front, but you can win from anywhere on this surface.
There's a look at Team McNiven. There's Maddie at the horse's head, and Travis getting a big win here today. And again, he obviously is trying to win the competition, and he's also trying to win the driving title here at the Raceway for the first time, and he's got the lead over Tyler Borth in that category. Francis DeMichel conditions this gelded son of Sunshine Beach, a 3-year-old who hadn't raced since September, so he had a bit of time off to freshen up. He had the winning qualifier, though, right here in London, December 8th, and that was a sharp 59-2 qualifying win. So it signaled that the horse liked the track and that he was ready to go from a fitness standpoint. The public were believers, and they were rewarded. He gets it done here at 3-5. $3.40 is the win ticket return. Tyler Borth second with Read the Proposal. Nat Day third with number 1 hit. So they keep themselves into striking position coming into the final leg. So we'll take another break. We'll update that leaderboard, and we'll have a look at it when we return.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Harness Racing Update is the sport's most comprehensive and timely news source. HRU covers the sport from all angles with news, features, photography, opinion, and analysis of racing. Also, HRU covers breeding and sales, as well as industry stories you need to know. It's all delivered by a deep, diverse, and talented team of writers and photographers. And the best news is that it's free to subscribe. Subscribe to HRU today for free at harnessracingupdate.com and see what everyone is talking about.
For over 25 years, Tara Hill Stud has worked with partners to help produce champion stallions. We are proud to have bred great racehorses like Fade Out, Shower Play, Precious Delight, and There's a Demon in Me. Our stallions, past and present, have had tremendous success while making a huge impact on racing across North America. Mr. Levesque, Mach 3, Cadabra, Muscle Mass, and Precious Bunny, to name a few. Our stallions' progeny have won major events, including the Hambletonian. Tara Hill Stud are currently standing 9 of the industry's top stallions. Alarm Detector, Control the Moment, Dance and Lou, Flanagan Memory, Green Manalishi, He's Watching, Muscle Mass, Resolve, and Sports Writer. Our facility is modern, our staff knowledgeable. Consider Tara Hill Stud when choosing a home for your stallion. Tara Hill Stud, where champions stand and champion yearlings are raised. Log on to tarahills.com.
Welcome back to COSA-TV live coverage of the 3rd edition of the Holiday Drivers Challenge. And looky here, we've got a change in the odds board going into the final leg. Scott Young has had the lead from about race 3 or race 4 onward, and was just sort of clinging to the lead. He's still in great position, but Nat Day, with that steady performance all day long, has now got herself back up into top spot, so she'll carry the lead into the final leg. And Travis Henry has got himself into good position as well. James, Tyler, they all mathematically have an opportunity here. It doesn't get any better than this when you come into the last leg of a driver challenge.
There's 7 points separating 1 to 5 right now. 7 points. That's amazing.
If we were good at math, we could probably quickly calculate who realistically has a chance to win and who doesn't, because it will be predicated obviously on who can win and then how others do, etc. But suffice to say, Nat's got herself in a great position, and I think any one of those top 5 mathematically could have a chance to win. So great job. Again, great job. We'll thank the drivers now for the show they're putting on today. It's been top-notch.
Oh, it's been great racing. Really, it has. And we got lucky with the weather, too. It's a beautiful day, like you said, just the right kind of a temperature, the little bit of snow. You know, it's pretty out there, and it's really been a fantastic day. I can't say enough about the driving. You know, they've given these horses all a good chance to race. There's been no bad times or anything like that. You know, it's just been fantastic racing, and you can tell that all 8 of them are right into it. And really, I'm sure that they're there's 5 or 6 of them that are really into it right now.
And the results have been well spread out over the course of the day. A lot of different drivers have had their time in the winner's circle here this afternoon. Scott Young, from a win standpoint, has been the star of the show. 3 winners for him today. Trainer Stuart McQueen, as part of the program, 3 wins as well. But it's going to be fun. Real log jam atop that leaderboard going into the final leg. We've enjoyed it. Hope all of you tuning in today have enjoyed the coverage, our final show of the season here on COSA-TV. And what a way to finish it off. An event that's growing in stature every year and will be a regular part of the racing calendar in Ontario for years to come, I am sure. There's a look at the field and the post position draw for the final leg. Now, the good news is for Nat, she has the lead coming in. The bad news, she's saddled with the outside post here. Travis Henry, a couple of doors down with veteran Old Friends Kentucky. And we were saying in the break that that's kind of the theme of this race, is that we've got the elder statesmen of local horses competing here. One of them that we'll see likely for the, well, if not the final time, maybe only once or twice more, the hard-hitting Stonebridge Scout. 14-year-old, final season of racing, and this will be the final couple of weeks of racing for him. He's been a good one, a bit of a fan favorite. And Eternal Ruler, the horse we talked about, Randy, you were commenting, he was sold for $1,000 as a yearling. Here he is now at age 12, and he's got about $150,000 on his card, and he's made a pretty nice racehorse.
Yeah, unbelievable. You know, you don't often see those $1,000 yearling prices, especially at Lexington, but this one was. And the horse you were talking about earlier, too, Stonebridge Scout. If I'm not mistaken, I think that the mare that he's out of, Dressed to Thrill, I think she's been a pretty good producer. Like, he might have a couple of brothers and sisters out there that are pretty quality animals himself. But it's always nice, you know, when you see these horses and they're getting to that point where you know that they're going to have like a nice easy life out in a field somewhere, and you know they've done enough. You know, if they can get them to the 14 years of age racing up here in Ontario, you know they've been very, very good horses, and some of them better than others, I guess. But it's just nice to know that they're going to have the rest of their life out in front of them, or be a riding horse, a pleasure horse for somebody, you know.
Well, $1,000 yearling purchase back in his day. Speaking of yearlings, we're looking forward to seeing the offspring of Bulldog Hanover. Well, some of them are going to be hitting the ground, I think, here in the coming months from the breedings that he had last year, now standing full-time at Sealster Farms. Bulldog Hanover, the sponsor of our 9th and final race today. Sealster Farms was a sponsor earlier today as well. So, again, a big shout-out to everyone who stepped in as sponsors of our races this afternoon. Those behind the scenes, we have to give another shout-out again to Emma Christoforou, helping out behind the scenes and organizing things down around Mohawk with donations, and the toy collection, doing double duty today as their parade marshal, and Kelly McNiven, who we heard from earlier. A couple of young ladies that really sort of taking the lead on that side of it for us, and it's greatly appreciated, and certainly by the folks with Toys for Tots. So here they are, making their way out from our paddock location for the final time today. And it's a wide open affair. If you were going to lean one way right now, Randy, and if we put you on the spot, who do you think hauls down the trophy today as our winner?
I'm going to stick with Scott Young. I think he's got a good shot in this race. I don't think that he's necessarily going to be a winner in this race, but he's got a good stable to work out of. He's got the rail, and all he needs is just a decent enough set of points that he can come back around Natasha. What Scotty has to hope for is that Natasha gets the lowest amount of points, would be my guess. And if he can get anywhere from, say, a third or a fourth, I think that he's got a really good chance of going back around. It's just a matter of who can pull them down. You know, I mean, I think Travis has a really good shot in here, too, of maybe upsetting the apple cart. And I also think Tyler Borth has a pretty good shot in here.
And that's just how wide open this last race looks. And the betting board, again, suggests that we are in for almost anything here. Now, Nat has Eternal Ruler, post 7. That's the outside post. One thing that's going to help her out here is there is a scratch in this race of number 4, Mr. X. You got to feel bad for Scott Ray. Two of his horses were scratched today, but nonetheless, you know, he's really thoroughly enjoyed the day and the experience of being part of this event again. But that's going to help Nat. Now, based on the horse's recent form, do you think she's going to try and put the horse in play, or do you think she'll try and race from off the pace? That tactic worked pretty effectively for the horse last time. Made a big back half rally and was a solid third.
Yeah, he's been unfortunate because he shows in his last 6, he's had 3 7-holes just there. So in his last 7, he's going to have 4 7-holes. So he's been unfortunate that way, but I think he's got to get, like, I love that last line. You know, looks like Lauren House drove him and he just took him back and just kept coming up the inside, and he put on a heck of a kick, especially that third quarter in 28-3. So, I mean, you know, I think that if she doesn't overdo it, I think she has a good shot in here. But that being said, he does show gate speed. He does show 29 seconds coming out of there, and there's not a whole lot of horses in here that do have gate speed. He's not going to have the 7-hole. Like you said, there's a scratch. It moves him down a little bit deeper down onto the rail. And, you know, you've said before, if you got a horse that's got a little bit of gate speed, you can get them out of here from the outside. If she can get away up close and hauls down one more, like, decent-sized check, I say Natasha Day is the winner. But I think that Scotty's horse is just a little bit liver in here. And if he can get that win, that seems to be the biggest fluctuation on the driver thing, whoever gets that win. So it's all going to come down to this here. And it's technically almost about a three horse race right now. Natasha Day, Scotty Young, and you know, maybe Travis or Tyler.
And this is that situation where you might really start to try and think it through, right?
Maybe
you might
too
be
much.
really thinking, well, what should I do here? Because when you look at the horse's recent form, it is interesting. 3 back, got away 7th, rallied, finished 2nd, came from a long way. Went to the front the next start, faltered, finished 6th. Last time, again, changing up tactics, off the pace, went from 8th to 3rd. So recently, anyway, the horse's preferred style has been closing. But the horse can snap the gate. He's always had tactical speed. So.
And the thing
and I think you said it, though, you would still opt to try and put the horse into the race.
Probably, because, you know, I mean, at this point, I think it's going to come down to more managing what is going to happen point wise. Yeah, she could go out there and Nat could go out there and go for broke, but that could score you the lowest amount of points. If you just drive it the way that it is, the lowest amount of points is still waiting for you. But what you can do is improve on that. And if she improves on that lowest amount of points, I really do think she has a chance to pull this down. I just happen to think that Scotty's got a horse in here that maybe can score a few more points than hers, and he's not that far behind her.
And the decisions aren't easier, I should say, for Scott with the rail, with the way the horse's preferred racing style is. He's got good tactical speed, so I don't think there's any question that he'll be in the early mix and forwardly placed if he gets away on the right foot from post 1. And the X factor here is Travis Henry. Travis Henry's right there in the mix as well. He's got the veteran Old Friends Kentucky, the 13-year-old, another one of the senior citizens of the group. Last time out, he was facing tougher company, and he finished 5th. And he's got sneaky good recent form. He's a classy horse, 39-time career winner, $220,000 banked. 5th last time, but facing better. So slight class relief today. Shorter field, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, back to that real old-time breeding. He's a Hoosier boy out of an Apache's Fame mare. Don't see too many of those names on the programs anymore. It's nice to see that, but, you know, we're talking about a 13-year-old horse here.
And you likely drove Hoosier boy at some point?
I think that was Chris's drive.
Okay.
Chris Jr.
Right.
Yeah.
I
raced a lot against Apache's Fame.
Really?
That I can tell you, yeah. Especially when he was 4. Not as much as a 3-year-old, but
Okay.
I had a decent 4-year-old for my dad at that time called Shogun Hanover, and I raced against Apache's Fame as a 4-year-old, and boy, he was something to see.
Yeah, it is interesting looking at the pedigrees here. sires that you kind of forgot about over time. Western Maverick is another one here.
Liz Mara.
Yeah. Liz Mara, one of those that was, such a great racehorse on the track, didn't translate into the stallion shed. It's not always a given, but nonetheless, Eternal Ruler, one of that one's offspring that has enjoyed a good, solid racing career. And we mentioned at the beginning of the show today, these are the horses, these are the blue-collar horses that they show up every week. They're going to race 35, 40 starts a year, sometimes even more than that. And they just show up and do their job every week. And you have to admire them for that.
Yeah, and like I said, again, this is how the greats started. Whether it was Bob McIntosh or Ron Waples or Ronnie Fagan or Keith Waples or whoever, they all started with this kind of a horse. The cheaper meat and potatoes kind of a horse, and then these kinds of horses is what elevated them to get the better horses, because they did good with these horses. These horses are so important, for our industry.
All right, we are getting ready to go. Starter Brad Pittock moving the gate into position for the final time. There's Ribsy, Steve Roberts, getting out of the way. He always leads Old Friends Kentucky up to the starting gate. We've got a field of 7 with the scratch of the number 4 here. It's all coming down to the final leg. Should be a great show. One more time upstairs to track announcer Sugar Doyle.
Needs an Uber. Here we go. Southwind Goliath, Kingsley B. Daddy's Eyes, Old Friends Kentucky, Stonebridge Scout, Eternal Ruler for 6 on gate. Trailing out is Just Marvelous. Top of the stretch. Picking up speed. Here they come. Off and pacing, Southwind Goliath. Old Friends Kentucky put in play, and from the inside, Just Marvelous plugged in from the back tier spot, bending through the opening turn. It's going to be Southwind Goliath on top, pocketing up Old Friends Kentucky at 35-1. Just Marvelous looks at it from third, a midfield fourth for Kingsley B. Fifth best away, we've got Daddy's Eyes. Then it's back to Eternal Ruler. Stonebridge Scout appears to be going the overland route here. Quarter mile speed was 29 seconds flat for Southwind Goliath and Scott Young. They're in command, already right lining from third. There goes Just Marvelous to be first up for a long ways. Live cover possibly for Kingsley B, who's positioned out there in fourth, getting shuffled here as they come down in front of us. That is Nat Day with the 7, Eternal Ruler. Then next to last, we've got Daddy's Eyes, trailing the field, Stonebridge Scout. 59-2, halftime speed, and it's Southwind Goliath driving on. Second best on the outside. Just Marvelous. Old Friends Kentucky still in the top 3. How about Nat Day? A second over toe up in fourth now with Eternal Ruler at 45-1. A buried fifth. Daddy's Eyes. Then came Kingsley B. Stonebridge Scout is going to save ground to try to gain position here on by 3/4, 129-1. Southwind Goliath still on top, still challenging Just Marvelous. The Eternal Ruler trying to make something happen from third, and up on the wide side, Daddy's Eyes is put in play, coming late for Boris. Stonebridge Scout still in behind the wall, into the stretch. Show 'em if you got 'em time. This is Just Marvelous on the outside, up on the wide side, Daddy's Eyes pacing out of his skin for the win. Oh, maybe it got awfully close. Just Marvelous against Daddy's Eyes. Stonebridge Scout appeared to be third, a mile of 2:01, and it's Just Marvelous, it looked like, for Colin Kelly at 4-5.
So it looks like Colin Kelly got his first win of the competition here in race number 9. So if that is the case, it really muddies the waters, and we are going to have to wait for the official scorekeepers to tally things up here and see who won. Tyler Borth, if he's second, that's a good result. I think that gets him up into the hunt. You had Scott Young there finishing fourth, Nat fifth. They get some points.
Travis Henry.
Henry's in there. This is going to be really, really interesting. And
what a finish!
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point who the eventual winner is. and more drama on this day.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Yeah, what a finish though. I mean, the whole field was within probably 3 lengths of each other.
And Nat, we were watching her early. Looked like she was in a bad spot. Able to slip through on the rail. Got herself actually in a perfect second over position. And the horse just didn't really fire. But a gritty effort from the 8 here, just marvelous. Scott Young's horse, Southwind Goliath, I mean, he had to be feeling good at the quarter. He made a relatively easy lead. Didn't face too much pressure in the opening half. And had to settle for 4th. Not sure if that's good enough to get him. I don't think it's good enough to get him the win.
I don't think it's good enough to. Yeah, I don't either. Like I mean, again, like you said, I mean, it's all going to come down to math, because this is so tight. It's very, very close.
And for Randy and I, not our strong suit.
No,
so we're going to leave that up to the official scorekeepers today. Nice to see Colin Kelly. It took 9 races today, but he gets a win. So the wins have been well spread out throughout the day. We're hearing rumbles that Nat Day, even with the 5th place finish there, may have just hung on for the win.
Well, wouldn't that be nice?
It's not official yet.
Well, that would be nice.
So her goal coming into the day was not to finish last, and she may have won a second consecutive driver competition here. She, of course, swept the OLG Championship, all 6 legs, back in October. Here's a look at the pair mutual details. First of all, in our final race, Just Marvelous, a $3.60 winner. The 9th race today was that Super High Five, where if you pick the top 5 finishers, you cash. $486 was the return there. And we are hearing word that it's official. Nat Day did hang on to win by 2 points.
Oh, fantastic. Well, good for her. And did you hear who was second? Was it Scotty Young that she went around, I guess? I'm guessing that it probably was because he did finish 4th in here. So I don't really think anybody was going to go back. Oh, no, he was 3rd. Tyler Borth came up.
Wow. And
had
Tyler won, he lost by a nose. Had he won, I think he wins by a point.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
He would have received 15 points. Wow.
Yeah. What I mean,
wow.
Look at this.
That's
60.
as tight as it can
yeah.
get.
Like that is. There's 10 points separating the top 5 people.
Yeah. Well done. Round of applause for the drivers today. What a show they put on. And Nat Day, she showed it, right? She's won a Clinton driver's title. She tied for that a couple of years ago. Had one of the greatest nights we've seen in Ontario, winning that OLG driver championship. And now she adds a Holiday Drivers Challenge title to her resume. And, this is going to make her feel good. She takes a lot of ribbing from the guys, too. But, they really respect her out on the racetrack. She's a talented driver, a safe driver, and she's proven that she can compete with these guys day in, day out. And
if you don't want to have a bad day, I suggest having a Nat Day.
A Nat Day.
I
like it.
If you don't want a bad day at the races, have a Nat Day, because this year she hasn't had too many bad days at the races.
I think that could be a T-shirt in the making there. I like it. And again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here today, our final show of 2022. It's been a lot of fun. Randy, great to have you on board with us a couple of times.
It's awesome to be down here, Greg, but it's really, really great to be working with you again. It's fantastic knowing you a long time. Absolutely love the smooth style, and it's just been great. Hopefully down the road or whatever, I can call you up and ask you for a couple of tips on my own broadcast career.
Absolutely. Let's go out to the paddock now, and let's hear from today's winner, Nat Day, standing by with our Mark McKelvey.
She looks like she can't.
Can hear us, and they want to hear from the winning driver, Natasha Day, who wins the Drivers' Challenge here for 2022. And Nat, I talked to you after race 1. You got off to a great start, and after that, you just kept chipping away. And I'm stealing this quote from you: 0 to hero, from last year to first this year. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it was good.
like these challenges, just being in a few, and the way to go is just get little points, keep, chipping away at it, and if you get a win, that's great, but the key to it is little points.
You had that driving challenge experience this past summer in the OLG Women's Driving Championship here in Ontario, but do you think driving in challenges a little more often than maybe some of your competition here today kind of helped you, just having that strategy?
Yeah, well, and plus, I drive against these boys all the time, so,
definitely.
It definitely helps, but no, I think being in the challenges, like I said, it's a points thing, so it's just chip away, and I've learnt that real easy.
Going into that last race, it was very tight. You were 3 points up on Scott Young. You got a 5th coming to the wire. At that point, did you have any idea if you were going to have enough points to win it?
Not a clue. Not a clue. I was just hoping to beat Youngie. That's been the main aim the whole day, basically. Just beat Youngie. So, yeah, Youngie, you finished 3rd.
He drops down to 3rd, and I know he heard it. He's over my shoulder here. Last for you. How does winning a challenge like this, what's that mean to you for your career?
It's good. It's exposure. People see you drive, so, you want them to take you seriously, and yeah, it definitely helps, and it's great to do it for a great cause as well at the same time, so it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely checking a lot of boxes here today, and you're right, certainly being taken seriously. You've had a great year. Congratulations on the success. It's only going to keep going upwards. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's hope it keeps going up.
All right, guys, what a fun day it has been. Congratulations to Nat Day. Let's go back to the grandstand. A fantastic finish. That's exactly what you want going into a driver's challenge.
Thanks, Mark. Great job in the paddock, as always, as well. And congratulations to Nat Day. Messages of congratulations pouring in from her. And it speaks volumes, a lot of them coming from her fellow competitors in that OLG Women's Drivers Challenge. Despite the fact that she didn't let anyone else win a race that day, they're all very happy for her today. And perhaps the message of the day coming from Julie Walker, a good one. She said, I know how it feels to get beat by Nat Day. So
that's
there
well
you go.
Put, but I'm not sure if the message of the day wasn't Nat Day's interview where she said the whole point of the day was to beat the answer.
Well, and we have to give Scott credit because he set the mark today. He got out to the lead and he gave everyone else some motivation and something to strive for.
He put a target on his back.
Right.
And they were all coming for it. It's unfortunate that he led for so long and then have what happened in the last, because he did everything right in the last race. Just the horse didn't fire quite as good as maybe what he should have. But I mean, Nat Day just did a phenomenal job all the way through. She picked up points when she shouldn't have, and not only just points, but she picked up big points, getting 3rds with horses that she shouldn't have, getting a 4th with a horse that maybe she shouldn't have, and that all added up. And even in that last race, I mean, she drove it so well. She did everything right. The horse, it could have even been a bigger effort, like a bigger result than what it was, the way she drove.
Sure.
But she got everything that she could get the whole day, and congratulations, Nat Day.
Congratulations indeed. What a year for Nat, and caps it off in fine fashion here today. Our final broadcast of the season. I want to thank our viewers who are tuning in today and who've tuned in all season long. Don't forget to tune in to our social channels following the broadcast today. We'll draw a couple of names from all of those who left us a comment. Randy's going to try his best to get those Christmas ornaments, driver color Christmas ornaments that are a great gift, and get those to our winners. Look forward to seeing you next year. I want to thank the Central Ontario Standardbred Association again for making these shows possible once again this season. And make sure you keep an eye on our social feeds all season long for the latest content. We look forward to seeing you again next spring. So long. Happy holidays from all of us here at COSA-TV.
By now, you know the name COSA-TV, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. COSA-TV has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out hpibet.com. COSA-TV, taking Ontario racing global.